stuff like that. Anything I should know?
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I'm a barbarian, Mongolian tribe, Central Asian vagueness horse tribesman with a pipe and a really bad Eastern European accent, and I'm the bodyguard of this fellow that way. There we go.
Yeah, you got the right direction. Look at that. I always struggle with that.
Yeah, I forget it's sort of mirrored. So
Yeah. Owen, we can't hear you.
Hold on, you're all coming through my mic. Why are you coming through my mic?
I'm a halfling bard.
There you go.
There. Sound like you was like underwater.
Oh, no, you're not. It's
Stupid 2-point like connection to the cords. So there's the one that goes into the computer, and then there's another one for the actual headset to connect to the thing that goes into the computer.
You mean like that?
All I can say, Nanaya, is that if you haven't heard this accent of mine, you're in for a treat.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
Well, they could also do my druid's Irish accent. It's
No,
quite
please.
funny. It started off quite Southern Irish, and it went quite drier and Northern Irish as I went on, as he became more and more despondent. Just shaking his head at all the reptilian scum just destroying everything.
Irish accent. It's kind of quite a hard accent to do. I always slip in and out all the time.
Yeah.
I used to be really good at an Irish accent, and then I was asked for a couple of shows to do a Liverpudlian accent, and now my Irish slips into a Liverpudlian because they're actually really similar. Strangely.
Strangely, because linguistically they are similar if you look at the history of it.
I mean, there's so many Irish people in Liverpool, so yeah.
I can't do accents.
Not only that, if you also look at the history of the Celtic spread, you'll find that they're pretty much the same people.
Unless I'm really drunk, then I can pull off a Welsh accent, I think.
Or
a Scottish.
You can put it
one
a
of the
Welsh
two.
accent, can you?
I can't remember which one it is, but I have to be extremely drunk.
Well, it's brilliant because every time I get in trouble, my mum just suddenly turns to Daddy, why are you doing that? It's like doing all the Welsh, you know, angry. It's only when she's angry though.
And it only works if everyone else is drunk, so...
Right.
It might just be everybody being drunk then and not knowing what a Welsh accent is.
Well, that too, because I was in Texas at
Sorry,
a
Mitch.
country bar.
I've
when
got
I
this,
was
Mitch.
doing
I've got this,
it.
Mitch. Ah!
Oh, I kind of want to leave that in. Okay. I think we're just waiting on power, actually, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Oh. No, she's- okay.
Well, shit, I hope she gets here soon then.
We can't see you, God.
Well,
I can.
I can.
The
I
only-
can see
I
all
just
of
can't-
you.
I can't see Bruntel. I'm gonna reconnect.
I can't see God or
yeah,
Brunham.
well, you should see me, because I exist.
There you are.
No. No one likes me.
If I die before I wake,
God!
at least
Yes,
in
my
heaven,
child.
I will see. Deus Vult. God wills it. Right. Are we ready to rumble?
Oh, damn it, I was going to say it. And then you said it anyway. And I know it was your sentence, but I wanted to, you know. Never mind.
Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic. Psych.
That was a very
Oh
awkward,
my God.
that was a very awkward sentence there, Bear.
I don't think it was. I think
How
you're,
she
I think you're
She's
projecting.
brilliant.
Yeah.
The way with words. Unfortunately, not the correct way.
It
but
was
either
almost
way.
poetic, is what it was.
Exactly. I'm a poet.
Almost.
And
So,
you didn't know it.
That's why I'm wearing a turtleneck, because I'm a challenged artist. Wait, what do they call it? Tortured.
Tortured.
Starving.
Challenged by a better term.
Challenged artist.
A challenged artist.
Special artist.
Christ, the things that you say, Power, are just I have so much like restraint to not make them the podcast episode titles.
Oh, I'm begging you to make that the podcast this week. The challenged
Okay.
artist.
Part 7. Challenged artist.
It's
So,
true.
So, who would like to do the recap this week?
Go on, I'll do it. I haven't done one yet.
No, you haven't. I mean, only 2 people have, so.
I'm going to do a recap for a week where I wasn't here for half of it. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually
so-
going to use that if I did it, but there you go.
So last time, we continued traveling into the dwarven hold that we found that connected into the sewer through a collapsed wall, and we did some exploring apparently, and the party came across a magical scroll in a like an alcove that looked like it'd been fallen in, and we were hoping that we could possibly fix it. So Arwen tried to use mending on it, and it didn't work because it fixed the piece of paper, but the magic that was infused wasn't there. And so we decided to continue exploring. And in our exploration, we came up against a crypt fiend, or
Thing.
Thing.
thing. That's the one. Crypt thing.
It's just a
which
thing.
was a graveyard guardian, and it caused the party a lot of issues because it used some bullshit magic from first edition, where once a day it can teleport you, and
I'm
once
just
a
going
day it can cloak other, and it hit the 2 magic users of the party. So Ustinia, as a solo barbarian who couldn't really do damage to the thing, took his torch and just pummeled it to death until its skull exploded all over everything. And then myself and Arwen returned. And then following that, we did some exploration of this tomb region. And basically what we found was that I found a box that I opened, which I shouldn't have meant to open because it belonged to the man with the thingy smile. And there's possible
The thingy
drug.
smile.
The cherry smile, that's the one. And
The cherry
his name Over, the guy that was smoking the tobacco.
Yeah, the crime
that
lord
his mouth
boss.
red. Yes, and that might have some sort of drugs in it because, and I'm about to have a conversation about that. But also, we found a tomb that was warded with some sort of glyphs that attacked magic and tried to beat up thieves. So we decided to leave that corpse alone, didn't we? Anyway, we are now. I am now, as we stand, I am there with this chest above eye level for most of the people around me, looking in it, doing that no thing, so Brunhelm can't take it.
Well, that's
And
because
where we
Brunhelm
left
wants
off.
to steal everything that isn't nailed down. Everything is nailed down,
You
and the
guys
nails.
didn't even see me steal that jewelry. You didn't even know.
Take
What
a,
jewelry?
Take an
Jewelry?
inspiration.
No see jewelry.
Isaac.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna point out, by the way, I made I made that encounter with the crypt thing much easier on you than I could have, because
I don't doubt it because
I
first edition
misread
is bullshit.
I misread the first spell, the teleport other spell, because instead of it targeting a singular creature, it targets all creatures within 50 feet of the crypt thing, and they all have to make the save. So what? And it's all random, so it could have occurred where all of you teleported in a random direction up to, I think I recalled, like Rivallon got very lucky, up to 1,000 feet in a random direction.
And space. It doesn't have to just be flat.
And space.
as
They
well.
could have teleported you 1,000 feet in the air, and you drop down onto the city streets from above.
which would have been interesting.
No, yeah, you definitely would have died though, because that's 1d6 for every 10 feet that you fall. So that. So 100 feet is 10d6. So that's pretty bad.
Would have been horribly maimed.
I would have had to have rolled a 1 on each of them.
I think I might still have died.
Yeah, no, because
Probably no. Most
it would
of
be
you don't have-
over double your death, double your HP. So yeah, that would. Ooh. You'd be dead about 26 times over, even if you rolled ones.
Oh,
Yeah, my max hit points is 23.
So you could do
That's pretty
230 feet, and it would all rolling ones, and you would just barely edge out.
Man, that's funny enough. The top height of the job done one.
Oh wow!
Today
Don't
was-
try it! Don't try it!
It doesn't translate. It doesn't translate. So, you are all inside of these burial chambers. Isaac is currently holding a small wooden crate above the reach of Brunhelm, who was previously trying to get the box, obviously and poorly.
Someone's got it.
It is open, and I described last week what the contents looked like. So, what are you doing? What is the?
I am going
Isaac
to
doing?
describe the party what's in the box, like that great movie Seven, and
What's in
see
the
if they
box?
know. See if they know what is in fact in the box. Let's play. What's in the box?
It's his wife's head.
Wait,
0 to 100
Isaac,
real
you're
quick,
married?
guys.
Have you not seen that film, Para?
I
And
mean,
then, like, the mailman comes out with the box and like.
what
he's like,
film
"Oh, no,
is it
look at
that
the
you're
box!"
describing?
7.
7.
No.
It's a good film.
Oh,
You
it's
have
a really
it.
good film.
Morgan
We
Freeman
did just
is
spoil the end, though.
good. Yeah, we did.
I'll just forget that
What's in the box?
for
What's
my
in the
own
box?
sanity as well.
It's a really
So-
gory film, to be fair.
Super gory.
It's a great thriller though.
It's really
For-
creepy. Good effects.
Yeah,
Great
good visual effects for a detective film. Essentially, is what it is. It's like
It's a mystery. It's a murder
Yeah.
mystery, essentially. Yeah.
I love a murder mystery. Maybe I will watch it.
it's Morgan Freeman and
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
And Kevin Spacey.
Really, Brad Pitt?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, I knew Kevin Spacey was in there. That before he got.
Oh, and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely in the end.
My God.
Did you see her Halloween costume that one year where she came as the box?
Really?
She just had the box around
Spoiler
her.
alert.
Fantastic.
Spoiler alert.
So,
No,
I think
hasn't
at
seen
this
it either.
point, it's gone. It's
He's
gone.
gone.
Okay. Anyway,
Anyway, so you described. So you said you described the.
the contents of the box. Yeah.
Contents of the box to everybody. Okay. So.
Oh well, that's probably
R1.
some fuck. I lost my accent. It's not. I'm not. Brentam's not struggling. I'm struggling.
Brenthelm's become so
Any given
flustered.
accent.
He's so flustered he can't speak anymore. Sounds like some delicate pills. He did say it was family heirlooms. It could be some pills. We are on the coast here, so perhaps his family owned some oysters.
Are they?
4 pounds worth.
Would I know if these are pearls or not?
What if they're like,
Well, I mean, you made an intelligence check, and you're not sure what they are.
you in fact had them described to you as pearl shaped.
In
I
terms of-
remember.
Yes, pearl shaped, but the color is clear.
Okay, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I need Arwan, Ustenia, and Rivallon to make intelligence checks, or to make intelligence checks. But I think Arwan, how much of a partier are you?
These
Like
are
in
so
college, I was like really a partier, but now I'm kind of more laid back.
In Bard College, is that?
Yes, because I spent a lot of time in college.
How
Make
long
this
ago was
intelligence
that?
check. Yeah, make this intelligence check with an advantage.
3.
Too much for party. He won't remember that much about it, surely.
How do
Depends
you
how
think I
many
knew
you
about
took.
those mushrooms?
Let's see here.
Can the Dutch people in my chat roll for intelligence as well?
Yeah.
'Cause I think he's been in and out of college like 3
I
or
mean,
4
3
times.
quarters of your chat last time I checked is just Dutch.
That's why I said it.
Okay, yeah, R1, you know what these are. From the description at least, you think you know what these are. Clear, pearl-like, small, little, like, balls. These sound like a substance that's called wyvern tears.
So the accent was correct in both ways. They're not just pearls; they're pills too.
Do I know what?
Oh, you were saying... Okay, yeah, no. No.
I had the same problem until she said oyster.
I think that's you not understanding Scottish and not me having a bad Scottish accent. I'm defending myself avidly there.
Little column A, little column B.
So, are you telling us what you think they are, Owen?
What do I know about wyvern tears?
It's an illegal substance in a lot of the on a lot of the continent and basically most civilized areas.
It's drugs.
It's used to get a high, essentially. It has some psychedelic properties to it.
I volunteered to
Let me
test.
just look at my alignment again. Remind myself what I do or how I behave.
How much of this do I take?
Do I share with the pie?
I mean, I'll say that they're wyvern tears until I figure out what my alignment would say.
These do not look like they have come from the eye sockets of a dragon. Kin.
What?
He doesn't believe you.
What? I mean, I haven't told a lie yet, so it's okay.
R1, let's see. Your character sheet says you're chaotic good.
Good, yeah.
It's on your character sheet on.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to make sure I knew how I would act. Yeah, I'm going to say that these are hallucinogenic drugs, and that they're very, very illegal.
If
how
they're
do
legal, that
you-
means they could be worth
Isaac
30
is-
penny.
How?
Isaac is going to shut the lid of the casket.
If
He
they're
does.
so illegal, how do you know what they are?
It doesn't matter how I know.
He's a rock star.
He starts sweating.
Kids, don't buy drugs. Become a rock star and get them for free.
Oh, that reference!
God, I love that film.
Ah, my favorite film.
But
It's like
for
it's
nothing,
October now. Why is
keeps
it not
for
on
free.
TV every week?
I might have spent some time in the Grey Wastes. It doesn't matter.
We
So,
should
Hey, boss. If these things are legal, that mean worth more money, yes?
I mean, yes. Would I know like the
the street value of
The street
value?
value. Oh god.
just roughly?
you know how much it somewhat was back whenever you had it, like in your college days.
How much?
Just adjust for inflation.
Just inflation and Slightly
Roll an
cheaper.
intelligence for
Well,
maths.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
funny
you-
thing is that they're trying to argue that illegal drug sales should be included in GDP figures. Like, true story.
I mean, America's GDP is going to skyrocket if you do that.
True.
really, I thought with Colombia probably would have.
Oh yeah, that
So
too. But
ours.
Yeah.
I mean,
they,
yeah,
they
ours is
shoot
pretty
up a
big as
couple
well.
of places in the ranking. Roll a
Venezuela.
Mexico.
What did I say? Roll an intelligence check just to kind of see if you can extrapolate from what you remember.
The Netherlands. That's another one.
Now, theirs would fall, wouldn't it, due to the fact it's just being used there?
I don't know.
But that would imply purchasing.
It's being purchased.
Good point.
Purchased.
Yes.
Unless there's a string
It
of
count as a transaction.
It's just robberies. Of,
Just gotta hope that Dutch
Yeah.
rave scene doesn't die.
You remember that the pouch that your friend got cost about 100 gold pieces, and that was enough for about a dozen people.
Yes, this would be worth a lot.
You never know.
Do you know how harmful it is?
It's just the grin. The grin.
Depends on what kind of high you got.
Well, what people want to do is what people want to do. You know, we're down here doing job and it's harmful. I get hurt and I expect payment. You know, people want to pay to get hurt, then that's on them.
Is it like bath salts or like, you know, cocaine?
Baths. Those are both, I would say, equally
Quite
bad.
bad. Yeah.
Well,
Is it-
no,
That's
Okay.
a dichotomy there.
one you start eating.
opioid or like marijuana? Are we talking like?
It's in terms of what happens, it's like shrooms, but it is an artificial drug. It's not natural. It's like it's distilled from another
So it's
substance.
like LSD.
Yeah, you could
So
say
it's
that.
acid.
Yeah.
It's Dungeons and Dragons acid.
Dungeons and Dragons acid.
You just put
Make
the
sure
wine
you-
into
you just
your
gotta make-
tongue and then.
Just drink a lot of water.
So I'm literally carrying a casket of PCP, is what you're telling me.
So we should all be going around
Gallon.
like yellow face
A
smileys,
literal
you know,
gallon.
and like baggy clothes and those round
It's
songs.
pretty harmful.
Hang on, I've got to read
I
my.
had 2 literal gallons of it. I don't even know how. I didn't even know they sold it like that. Sorry, just flash back to the whitest kids you know in that skit.
We.
I don't feel good about this, so, you know.
We should try to continue to find our way out.
Well, yeah.
Oh, we know where the way
I
out
can
is.
do that.
We know the way out because of I know the way out.
So do I.
Somebody's been drawing a map.
I know
yeah,
how to go.
I've been drawing
No,
them
not
up.
only that, if the map fails, then I have a tail.
Rivallon just. Yeah, and Rivallon,
Rivallon
also
was-
just sprinted
Yeah.
through the. through the whole-
Rivallon remembers the way because he went twice.
I would add that I am actually quite hurt at the moment.
Or don't forget, also you have that effect for until your next long rest.
True.
You have disadvantage in all physical-based stats.
How hurt?
Pretty goddamn hurt.
I've
Because
got-
of your incontinence.
Peeing everywhere.
Incontinence.
Do you mean incompetence?
Incontinence,
Did
sir.
you get your pee in your titties
Again,
the wrong way
I
around?
would say that's not Brundham, that's me. And I don't want you to take this against him, but he's a very competent person.
This is turning into a Python sketch.
Is he very
You
confident?
forgot your adult diapers and it ruined everything.
Damn you, old
Damn
man!
it, Owen.
You blame me for this.
Trained you.
I'm pretty tapped on magic, and I'm trying to hold off until just in case we need
I
it.
mean,
Oh.
since I'm not I'm not a primary spellcaster, so I'll spend my last spell slot casting Healing Word. Because I'm a good friend like that.
I like having a get out of jail free card with certain spells. Plus, he seems to get more points in healing than I do anyway.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
So, are we getting out of here, or do we want to continue to explore the sewers?
Is there
There's nothing else to explore.
nothing else to explore?
There is.
You found there of the places you've gone through. The only passage you haven't gone down is this passage here, to the edge of the room.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't know there
wait,
was a
though.
passage.
I want to can in these 2 rooms. I can't go through the wall. That's funny. These
That's how
one.
walls work.
And this one. I should have just pinged. I don't know why I didn't just ping. Are they? Do they also have the runes?
No, they look to be sealed.
So they're sealed
tombs.
tight.
Oh, I'm also gonna recast light on myself.
Brunham, I've
I'm
got
going
a
to
healer's
cast
kit if
light
you
on
want it.
Justinia.
You actually wouldn't have stopped
I'm
having
actually
light on
full
yourself.
health now. But
No, I
okay.
did because I
I've just
recast
realised.
it on.
You did recast it.
And then-
yeah, good point.
I'm gonna cast.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna move my light to Justinia.
I already have a light. I have
Oh,
a
do you?
torch.
Okay.
I've
then
got a torch. Where's my torch gone? Who's got my torch? Give me back my torch.
Oh, maybe me. I had one because.
I think that's my one.
Okay, but then Arwen gave me
Yeah, that's
cast
my
light
one
on
because
me. So
yeah, that's mine.
Then where has mine
So-
gone?
where's mine gone? We need more torches.
We are a torch down.
2 torches down.
No, there's only 3. No, there's only 3.
Yeah, I
Alright.
took mine back. I recast it on my ring.
Yeah, and yours never actually took. Remember, because that's how you have the disadvantage and all that.
Oh
stuff.
right, never mind. I'll
Yeah.
just.
You
stick to
exploded.
Isaac.
Yeah.
Oh right. Well, okay.
I can just give you my torch. It's fine.
So yes, there's one
I don't
passage
need
you
it.
haven't gone down.
You are.
There is one passage you haven't gone down to the side.
Okay.
Well,
that
isn't there
doesn't seem-
some like actually in the sewer that we didn't finish going through?
Just as far as you can tell, just more sewer.
You never know.
We defeated the creature that we came to defeat,
Oh.
basically.
Wait.
And we
why-
retrieved the
Oh.
box. However, I'm not sure I want to give that
Did we
back.
defeat the creature?
The
see-
tentacle thing that killed the previous things, yes, because
Yeah.
We're
I'm-
going down this corridor. I'm not going first.
I'm
Ooh,
already down
like-
there.
So
She needs
I want to
light.
announce that. When you
Oh.
walk
Oh.
down the corridor,
No.
we have light issues.
why are there
I
4
don't-
lights?
I don't. Here you go.
I already have one.
2.
My God, there's 5 now.
Jesus.
All right.
For those of you listening at home, on Roll20, we somehow have managed to create.
There's
5
only
light
3
bulbs.
of them now. God damn it. Somebody must have put
Okay,
2 on top of each other.
Who's done? Well, my one was no. That didn't work. That was your one. Have you got 2 on top? No,
Sorry.
you haven't. And now there's only 2, so I need one because I have a torch here.
I see
You have
one
one
on
on
you.
I see one on
You
you.
got one. You got one on you.
Ah, there we go. Ha!
Yeah, there's 3. I'm looking at right now. Okay, so you've gone as you go down the corridor, Rivallon.
Yes.
There, it gets markedly slimmer, like less space to your sides. It's a much more narrow corridor, and you exit out into a large 15 by 15 foot room with solid walls compared to the rest of the chambers that you've been through. It seems to have weathered the ages much better. With another what looks to be the start of another corridor about of the same size on the opposite side to the one that you entered in this little room into, but you instead see a caved-in passageway, much the same way that you've seen the other areas caved in, where
This one's caved in as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Can I cast something to try and figure out what this room is or what it was or?
I don't know. Can you?
Perception check.
Okay.
What are you wanting to do? I don't
Perceive.
perceive. Would you roll a perceive check? Okay. You see a room. You see, as I described, a stone room that is 15 by 15 foot with two entrances or exits, depending on how you view those things. The walls themselves have fairly large stones making them up, which you can still see mortar in between them. It may or may not have had a facade on it at one point, but if it did, it has rotted away in centuries since it was since this was the last used. It's just bare stone now. Other than that, it looks to just be a stone room.
Okay, nothing hidden in the walls.
At a quick glance, how long do you reckon it would take to sort of clear the cave in if we tried?
Wow. Roll an intelligence check. Let's see if you can work that out.
9.
You
14.
think it'll take? You think it'll take a long time? A long time. This is fairly. You're not even sure how deep the cave-in goes. A lot of the stones look to have a very, very large layer of dust on them, so they've been here for a while. You don't see any light, and you're not hearing anything coming from the other side, so it looks like it's fairly solid cave-in.
I think we should just head backwards.
I think before we go, I think we should decide what we're gonna do with this.
Hello.
We've got a cat. We want a cat. Hey, Kitty.
Yes!
Hello, Kitty.
I love them.
Hello, kitten. That's a tail in the face. That's the international cat leave me alone signal.
No, it was up and it was not twitching, so that's an I'm interested symbol.
That's
He's pushing the microphone. What, George? Thank you.
He just wants love, and I love him so much.
George, the cat, is attacking my microphone.
Back
But yes,
to
I suggest we just head on out.
And go where?
Back to the surface.
Right, I got that. But once we are on the surface, where do we go?
I suggest we tell the gentleman who was left alive by the creature that the creature has been dealt with.
What about the box?
I vote we destroy the contents and say we didn't find it.
I can live with
Or
I don't know how I feel. That was not Scottish.
That wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. It
that.
wasn't
That wasn't bad.
It was just.
Just stop worrying about it. Stop stressing about it. I fuck up
can't
accents all the time.
I can't feel right about destroying another man's property.
Even
what
if
if-
harm others.
Well, what if we just turned into the guard? Say we were hired to do a job. We found it. We didn't believe it was. No, we didn't
Officer,
think it was.
I have in my possession some drugs.
No, just
they are
leave it
not
down
mine.
Leave it down here. Say we found a mysterious box. Didn't want to fuck with it.
So we opened it.
Oh
No.
god, that's the funniest thing I could think of. Just like a guy walking up to an officer, just going like, "I have a gallon of PCP right here, and I take it."
It's not mine.
What's the bounty on it?
I said leave it down here.
There is a gallon of PCP
I
in
don't
that
know.
house.
I don't deal with the law very often. Okay.
The crime in this town is clearly organized. What's to say that the constabulary hasn't fallen to this man to...
Oh my god, I need a drink.
That's probably how it started.
Seriously, so we just destroy it and just go on about our day.
Correct.
Well, since you believe it's organized crime, don't you think they're gonna want to know what happened to the people who hired them? They hired to find this stuff, and then once they find us, they're gonna ask us what we did to it.
I agree. It
And-
could be more dangerous to get rid of this than it could to just give it back and pretend nothing happened.
And I'm not saying I want to give it back. I'm just saying we need to think this through.
I suggest we empty the contents into... Hang on. Question. You know about this drug?
Hang on.
Sorry, I've gone into normal voice because I'm trying to clear something up. It's a hallucinogenic pill. Will that mean it will dissolve?
We could
Are
take
you
it in
saying we
the water
poison their
supply.
water supply?
The
Yes.
sewer is
You're
not
doing
a water supply.
Oh, it's gonna go into the sea. It's gonna kill all the fishes.
No, the fish will just be lying there
make
going,
their,
"Whoa!"
yeah, make their day the best ever.
That coral reef with all those eels that attacked us, they're like, whoa.
Yes.
I
it
am never
dissolves.
attacking a ship again.
Now just think about that, man.
Oh,
Now think about that.
It'd be worse.
You're in a
We give the
fantasy.
eels the munchies.
You're in the fantasy realm with sea monsters, and you're gonna only psychedelic drugs into the
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. That's gonna destroy
have a-
the tour.
Gonna have a kraken thinking something's like a.
But yes, if you put it under your tongue, it dissolves. You start to see things.
Look, if we're gonna put it into the
You
sewers
want
and it's gonna go
high
into,
and put it in a thing of wine.
if we're gonna put it in the sewers and it's gonna go out to sea, at least let me sell tickets first.
Because what I suggest is we destroy the contents, and then leave the box broken where we fought the creature.
You mean the seaweed creature?
No,
Where
you
they
mean
originally
the
lost it.
grip thing.
But that's not where we found it. It's gonna be obvious that we've moved it.
Is it?
You mean destroy it where we destroyed the crypt thing?
Boss.
The story that we were going by is that this box was lost when the group was attacked
In the
by
sewer.
by the seaweed creature. It has then since been moved.
Well-
What I am thinking is that the survivor may have hidden the box
I thought
to retrieve later and was trying to undercut his boss.
the
I have
guy
better
was
idea.
looking for
If he
it
left it
and got
where we
attacked
found
by
the
the
crypt
seaweed.
thing, he would have been killed by the crypt thing. He didn't mention it.
Yeah. How did the box get here? Because if it was lost in the sewers or placed in the sewers, the crypts are nowhere near the sewers, really speaking. And how did it get past the crypt thing in the first place?
The man was a halfling. He could have snuck past. We are already under the.
Arwen, can you sneak past anything?
As long as it's bigger than me.
But by suggestion, the crypt thing was his pathway, and guarding circle had broken. The halfling could have known this. Could have used that to his advantage. We stumbled upon it without knowing this.
You people are very strange. You come up with complicated plots and plans and cover stories. Why don't you just smash box? Give back smash box. Say, hey, it got broken. We don't know what happened by the inside. Easy.
I am with Ustinia.
Yeah.
We dissolve
You've
the
just
contents.
done this elaborate plan.
Yeah.
You've detailed. Well, you've given, and then he says, "What you doing?
I just
Give up. Just
detailed.
give it back." And then you say, "I'm with you."
No, he
Give it,
did.
into
he said
the,
give-
give it to the Eustachians. They have a blunt sense of logic, and it works.
Yeah, well,
you
no.
throw the box contents away. You smash the box. You say, sorry, boss, box broken. And you don't know what happened inside.
And you make sure you're near the door
that
when you
works
tell
for
him.
me. Yeah,
You people, you come up with complicated ideas. I'm sitting here thinking, what are you doing? I don't understand.
I say we do that, but first we go to the brass wand and sleep because I'm knackered. I want a fucking ale. Maybe something else.
I could do with some fresh fermented milk.
Yeah, and then deal with this tomorrow.
Surely heading up there and then talking to to Ovar after we've rested is going to be detrimental to our story. It would.
We give him the box,
He
the
doesn't
smash, smash,
know
and then we
how
go
long
drink,
it's taken
drink.
us to find it.
He-
I
he
could have
might-
been in here all night and he wouldn't know.
It would be safer to wait down here then. If we went up to town, he could have eyes on us as soon as we leave the sewer.
How about we'll leave the contents of this box in the other box that we found that had the scroll on it. That was hidden.
I have a quick question for the DM.
Yeah.
I mean, according to mending, it's only like a tear or a break. That wouldn't deal with like scratches or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not major damage, surely.
About what are you specifically asking?
The lock that I know to be scratched up from people trying to break into it.
No, that wouldn't. Like
Okay,
mending
I didn't
is
think so.
mending is specifically supposed to mend two pieces
That's
of
what I
something
thought.
together.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, so that wouldn't do that.
Anyway, I think we should head back to the sewer portion of this underground realm.
It doesn't matter where we go.
Again, you're saying sleep on the sewer? I don't want to sleep in the shit. We just smash box, throw away contents, give smash box back the boss, and we go rest. Easy, it take 10 minutes.
Or how about a combination of the two? Put the tears in the little hidden box that we found, then smash box, then give to boss.
Why are we not destroying the drug?
We've already established we can't really throw it into the sewer water.
Well, I mean, I guess we can. We can pour some water over it in the box.
Yeah, I have a full water skin right here.
You're gonna leave a load of hallucinogenic liquid sitting in a box.
A hidden box.
I am going to upend the drug box onto the floor and just cover the drugs in water.
Okay.
I'm gonna like empty my water.
Upend the box, and these little like almost glass balls fall out of the box and dink onto the ground. You hear them against the stone, just little planks against it. A couple of them crack and break, and like a little bit of like a liquid from the inside gets onto the ground. It looks like there's a hard shell and then a liquid on the inside. And you, after you pour everything out, you just water on top of it, and you see as the water begins settling onto them, they slowly begin to dissolve, and like after a couple of seconds, the bits that are touching the water dissolve enough that the interior bits of the drug kind of spill out on it itself, and it just kind of chain reactions down. It takes like a few minutes for a lot of it to dissolve. Mostly, anything that's left looks to be just like little shells of the actual casings left.
And now I'm going to hand the empty box to Ustinia.
Smash it. Break him. I will break you. Smash it pieces.
Okay, I won't make you roll. It's just a box. It's just a box.
I mean, he's already shown that he's really good at breaking wood. When he was knocking on the door with an axe.
Knock.
You just you take it and you hit it a couple of times with the butt of your weapon to break open the sides, and then you just put it on the ground and you good heel to it, and it caves in one of the sides. So it looks fairly broken now. A lot of it is so still together in like a mass that looks like the box, but there's like a whole bunch of damage on one side. That's anything in it would have fallen out.
All right.
So you now have a broken box and a like 4-foot puddle of
very highly toxically drug water.
I'm sure it's gonna be fine. So should we head back then?
Alright, walks through and just goes.
Whoa.
Just one of those quick pinky gummit real quick.
Is that some tree? Just like everything starts going.
You just see its brain like start melting out its nose. Like, whoa. Now we can leave.
Okay.
All right. So, you guys move out of the burial chambers. It's the way. Both you have a map and Rivallon have walked through it. the second time, so it's pretty fresh. You do notice one thing on your way out, though, because of the play of light and the angle that's coming in. There is some offering plates in a corner next to the entrance that you didn't notice on the way in, because of it's like a little alcove that was blocked from your line of sight on the way in. That have some items on them, which when you pass by, you see the glint of a couple of things. Do any of you check?
I have a question.
Go ahead,
How long has it been since I cast Detect Magic?
When was the last time you did it in the crypt, right? 20, 30 minutes maybe.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not since after the.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, after the thing that we did.
On these offering plates, this like a little offering plate thing, you find. Let's see here. You find a bundle of arrows. About 20 of them. They're tightly bound in the corner. And when you look at them, they look to be fairly sharp and well made, almost masterwork in quality. So these are +1 arrows. So they give you a +1 to damage whenever you use them. So you got 20 of those.
Cool.
And underneath a small bit of cloth that is covering it, you lift it up. This is what you caught because if it's a metal fastener. You find what looks to be a potion of lesser healing.
Do you use a bow or something?
Yeah.
Does the ranger use a bow?
Well,
Does
I
the
just,
ranger elf?
I'm not looking out for them.
Does the arrow on wheels stereotype use a bow?
Thinking intensifies.
I don't know. I got confused. I thought Arwen had seen them.
But no, you have. But yeah, you have those. You have those 2 items.
All the cats have appeared.
All the cats have appeared!
Kitty!
Kittens!
I miss my cat now.
That is
She's
the right way
a
to hold a
man.
cat. Give me fuss on my tummy! Give me fuss on my tummy now!
Look at him.
Nah, my cat just likes to be slung over the shoulder. She just
Yeah, that's what I do
there.
normally.
She's just like,
My cat doesn't like being touched at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
all
also
three.
find on the offering plate, along with the items, you find 20 gold pieces.
Oh, cool.
And those were just there on the way out of the chambers, and as you leave, you find nothing else, and you exit into the sewers. And just as when you came in, the sewers are quiet and musky with the smell that permeates through them. But nothing seems to have changed. The heaped mass of seaweed is still kind of lazily floating in the water, and don't really see anything else. So you get your way.
I'm actually going to take some of that and put it on the box, like wipe it in.
Yeah, dunk it in the thing for a couple of times.
Okay, so you get a bit wet and rub the seaweed on it and get a little seaweed. Okay. So it's got like little green marks and bits of the seaweed kind of in some splinters and stuff. And it's fairly wet now. But you start your way back towards the entrance that you used initially. You walk past the area where you dealt with the, I think, what did we say their pronunciation were? The feykind?
Mushrooms.
Feykinds. They're still the ones. Their burnt husks are still there, but you continue on, and it takes you about the same amount of time it took you to get out again, because of the maps that you're using to navigate the sewers is still just as bad as it was going in. So you're working through it, but you finally manage to get to the exit, and you exit, or you go up the ladder onto the southern area of the main market square in Fall Harbor, where it is noticeably later in the day. Probably maybe half hour ish before the setting of the sun, of light that's left in the day. Things have definitely wound down from when you went in. A lot less people walking around. A lot of the stalls have been closed up, and it's much quieter. And you see a few more guards than when you see more guards patrolling than in the daytime, where they were mostly just kind of stood around and just watching. So you are now back out of the sewers.
Do we know if there's a bath in this town?
You're not sure. You
That's
know.
a really good question.
Wait, Broontime's been here. Do they have a bath here?
Do they have a bath here?
Yeah, Brunham.
God.
Public baths.
You know that there are a few establishments that offer baths as a extra service for some of the taverns slash keep or not the inns. There we go. Some of the inns have some bath services they offer. There is an actual bath house that's on the edge of town to the north. That's used by a lot of the kind of middle class-ish people that take their baths there. But a lot of the lower class people just take baths in the sea or bathe in the sea. That's fairly easy to get to, and it doesn't cost any money. So that's kind of the situation there.
I relayed this information.
So should we go to the baths first and then go talk to the guy?
Might not be such a good idea. We want to look like we found
Perhaps.
box and we get back.
If we smell terrible, he won't mind so much if we stay a little bit further away and then run after we've given him the broken box.
All right, I can. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
With that, I believe we're going to go see Ovar.
All right. So, you begin your way back towards the slum area in the north of the city. It doesn't take you long to get there, but by the time you do reach the Jester and Flask, it's definitely night. Like the sun has set. It's gotten dark. People have begun going to sleep for the night, or they're going home, all that kind of stuff. But the Jester and Flask is active. In fact, it looks to be much more active than when you went there in the afternoon. You hear some laughter coming from inside of the tavern, and some moderately all right flute playing coming from inside. So when you enter, you see a somewhat full tavern with individuals drinking ale and eating food, talking, and general joyousness going on. You do notice a couple of familiar faces from when you were there before, including the tavern keep when you enter. And seeing when you enter the tavern, he recognizes you almost immediately, and you see him gesture over his shoulder towards the hook in the building around the corner for you, as if to tell you to go to head back there.
I want to be at the back of the party.
I'll be at the front of the party.
Let us proceed.
Okay. You had through most of the crowd, many of the individuals in the tavern giving you looks as basically everything below your knees is soaked with sewer water and the various other things that float in the sewer. So it gives off a smell.
Hang on, Arwan, aren't you a bard? Can you do prestidigitation and make yourself clean?
No, I did not take that.
Oh, fair.
I took mending instead.
Yeah. You can mend your cleanliness. But you come across, you go across the tavern and go around the corner, and you see, not Ovar. You see an individual sitting in the same booth, much better dressed than most of the other individuals there, but not Ovar. A dwarvish man of middle age, heavy set, and with a kind of like slicked back black hair. But when you come across the corner, he. Hold on a second. Just check this. When you come across the corner and into view, here, yeah. He gives you like a toothy smile, as if too much teeth for the smile on the sides of the face, from your initial, from what you would think of when you first see him. And he says, "You must be the people that were hired this afternoon. Am I right? Judging from your current state."
Yes, that'd be correct.
Well, you've come back, and none of you were dead, I think. Were there 5 of you before?
Yes, there were. We managed to get by without any death.
A distinct
that
lack
mean-
of casualty.
Does that mean you succeeded, or that you failed?
A little bit of column A, little column B. We retrieved the item. However, it was already a little damaged. And I'm going to gesture to Ustinia to hold up the box.
Yep, I've got the box and I'm going to plonk it in front of him quite crudely. Just there you go, boss.
You said it once over. Say it was like this when you found it?
Yes, sir.
Unfortunate. But I suppose not. I suppose it's not your fault, beyond your control. This is good work. And you killed the creature that caused this situation?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we killed it good.
And a little extra as well.
Little extra? What does that mean?
Oh, aye, there was a second creature that was not described to us.
Second one. Was not aware of that.
Damn near killed us. But we survive.
More to the fact, though, the deed has been done.
It has. I hope that you found something down there to pay you for the effort. Or
I mean, Junior, do you want to show off your armor. Are you not wearing it?
Oh, yeah.
No. I've got this is an extra chainmail.
I had to think like out of character if we'd found anything. Yes, we did.
But you also found like a health potion and
gold,
and 20 gold.
Well,
pieces.
I was thinking I didn't know about that one. I don't know if he was like, hey, look what I found.
Yeah.
We don't know the Rivallon. We might have noticed that he picked up an extra set of arrows.
Yeah, probably.
A big bundle of 20 plus 1 arrows.
Might have noticed that. Yes, we did.
Good. If you hadn't, we were willing to pay you something for this. But
why did we
that honesty's good. Would you be willing to work another job in the future if we offered you something?
I think at the moment we would just like to go and clean ourselves up.
Oh, of course you can go clean yourselves up, but there's something we may need some individuals for. It's a general town matter that we need some good quality help for. Let's say.
Will we be paid this time?
Yes. Actually, you'll be paid by the local reeve.
I'm gonna lean into Arwen and say, we could do with some cash, boss.
We may be interested.
Where are you staying?
Well, we were told as payment, since we weren't going to be receiving any monetary compensation, that we'd be given rooms here.
We could manage that. But I would suggest you maybe head up to the bathhouse first. But we'll have... how many rooms do you need exactly? 5? Or are you sharing?
Five.
5. We can manage. We can manage that. Once you come back, they'll be open for you.
Thank you. I'm going to turn and walk away. Go take a fucking bath.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a general store, buy a bar of soap, and go to the beach.
It's night. So...
Oh yeah, shit.
To the bathhouse.
Yeah, to the bathhouse then.
The bathhouse.
Another spinning soap. You head up there, Brunham guiding you with his forward knowledge of the region and town. It's a kind of enclosed area near one of the gates to the interior part of the city that is still open. It seems to be less active than you would expect, but when you enter the little enclosed area, there's like a set of like sheets that separate the interior of this area to where you're at. But an individual, a dwarvish woman, is standing near some crates. When you enter, she inquires as to what you need when you.
Can we just look at our pooey legs?
Yeah. She informs you that a bath in an individual basin is a gold piece per person for a warm bath, but you can have a cold one for a silver piece.
I'll pay for everyone to have a hot bath. Because I'm nice like that.
Sure.
You also got
Sure.
20 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Recklessly attacks.
He
Rivallon.
doesn't
No,
want to
no,
have a
Fuck
nice
your
life.
generosity!
Ah, damn your generosity! He will break you.
Stadia hate clean!
He hate the queen.
Stadia will be clean!
You've not had bath in 5 years, never have again.
We'll take bath in blood!
Justinia is like Mr. T with planes as to
I ain't getting in no bear food.
So you each are guided towards a small tent that's that are all kind of in a line.
Can I just interrupt you there and ask, are there other services here?
I was just about to ask the same thing.
Hey, he's
Kingdom
lonely,
Come.
he's got money.
You guys have played too much Kingdom Come Deliverance. Is there a buff that comes with that?
Well, also laundry services because our clothes are dirty.
I need a launder. Well, no, is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna scrub my clothes in my bathwater once I'm done.
You can. You inquire, Estania. They are an establishment that does not offer that. They're an upscale establishment.
How about laundry
not
services?
Master under my breath.
Laundry services, they will clean your clothes while you're taking a bath if you put an extra silver piece on top.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
So will I.
I'm just gonna clean mine myself in my bathwater once I'm finished.
Oh, okay.
But you head back. You're all led to individual tents that have like a basin inside of them. They're private, and you are left to your devices once the flap is closed, and you all take your baths. The ones that pay for the laundry services when you finish your bath, your clothes are waiting for you just outside of or just inside of the tent while you were bathing. They were left there, and yeah. So you are now all clean, have fresh laundered clothes for the price of 1 gold piece or 1 gold piece and a silver piece, depending on what you bought for services.
I mean, it's costing Rivallon 5 gold and...
Yeah, I paid for their baths.
Yeah, it costs you 5 gold pieces, 1 silver piece, and it costs most everyone else a silver piece, but for Isaac, who got out of this with no money lost.
Yeah.
But either way, you're now clean. So what are you guys doing? Are you heading back to your tavern? You want to go? What do you guys want to do?
I think we should all head back to the tavern and rest.
Yeah, I need
Do
sleep.
you two want to check on your horses?
Tomorrow.
I'll check on my horse just before we go to the tavern, just to make sure everything's all in order. Well, I mean, I paid for the week, haven't I?
Yeah, same as me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Isn't
just
it
gonna...
3 weeks? No.
No,
Wait.
it was a week.
It was a week. You
I don't
paid
know
up
where
for.
I got that
it was
figure from.
Yeah, it was a gold piece for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just
You,
gonna go check.
Yeah, you both, while the rest of the group start heading back towards the tavern and / inn, you both head over to the stables and check out your horses. Looks like they've been well cared for. They've been desaddled, and kind of they are in their own stalls. They seem to have plenty of hay. They've been rubbed down, and their water's full along with some feed. So they seem to be doing well.
I'll leave a
well
1
cared
silver
for.
tip.
Okay, you give a silver tip to one of the stable boy that seems to be caring for the animals, and face lights up. That's probably the most money he's gotten in a long time for
Yeah.
tips.
You make sure she get nice fruit in the morning, yeah? Hmm? You're like
Of
winking.
course, sir.
Enjoy.
So you probably made his day. But your horses both seem to be good, and you head your way back towards the tavern. Just to gloss over this, when you all get back to the tavern, you're you're shown to your rooms. You're given a small iron key in the back of the building. There's lines of doors, and you enter in. Yours are sparse. Like, there's not a lot to them. There's a bed, and that's about it. There's a bed. There's a little table next to the bed with a candle on it. That's about it. And a small chest at the foot of the bed for your own personal belongings. And it seems like that's what that key goes to. So if you wanted to lock things up. But you all get it. You all head in, and you take your long rest. So you get your spells back. You reset all your spells. Brunhelm, your disadvantage is gone now. You're no longer disadvantaged on all physical stats. Everybody heals. Standard long rest stuff. And you awake in the morning, all of you. Fresh, still smelling nice from your baths, and you are all kind of just getting up from the day, and you hear not a lot actually. Seems fairly quiet compared to when you went to sleep, and it was a pretty active atmosphere outside of your rooms. Now, seems fairly quiet.
I go downstairs.
Yeah, I'll go downstairs as well.
Well, you're all on the same floor. It's a single-story building.
Okay. I'm gonna go head out into the bar area then. I'm gonna smell and is there the scent of breakfast cooking?
There's a smell, yes, of some stuff cooking, but it doesn't. It's not as good as some other places you've been in.
It is good enough for me.
He drinks fermented milk, for crying out loud.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get myself ready and head out for some breakfast.
Okay. When you go out, you see some stuff. You see the fire and the hearths on. 2 or 3 people sitting out in the bar. A few have like bowls of look to be some sort of porridge they're eating, with some mugs in front of them, and a barkeep sitting behind the actual bar itself, is actually sitting and seems to be resting a little bit when you come out. So goes, "Can I get you anything?"
What you have for the food? For the
For
morning
breakfast?
food? Yes.
Got some wheat porridge. And if you're wanting a little bit something extra for taste, rye bread and some whey cheese, with a bit of ale.
How much is this?
The cheese and bread, it's 5 coppers, and the porridge is 2.
Okay, I have.
I will
Both?
too.
Or just one?
Yeah, I have both.
Both.
Yummy.
Yeah, you're given some wheat porridge, some rye bread, and like a hunk of whey cheese. That seems to be all right. All for 7 copper pieces.
Well, how much for morning ale?
The ale comes with as well.
Ah,
So
okay, cool.
it's not a
I
full.
wonder-
It's not a full. It's like It's not a. It's like smaller glass than what you would get during the rest of the day. It's like a half mug or whatever you'd consider it.
Half pint.
Just enough to get.
Take
Yeah.
my food back to my room.
All right, you do the same. So yeah, if you get the breakfast thing, it's about 7 copper pieces, and you get all that.
I
enough for you in the
am
morning.
just gonna take the porridge and the bread. I don't want the cheese.
No, jeez, flavor offends me.
And I'm
it's
gonna
ungodly.
I'm gonna pocket the bread and eat the porridge, and then I am going to. I am going to tell Ustinia and whoever is else at breakfast that if they require me, you will be able to find me at the church in town.
Which one?
Okay.
Wait, okay, I'm not here, actually. Never mind, you can figure that out yourself.
The one that I've been to, I'm gonna go and pray.
Yeah, but we don't.
Because
The
we
only
know
one in
you.
town.
Yeah, there's only one. Ustini, you want to go find somewhere to sell that chainmail?
Yes, I could do some cash.
Yeah, I need to find somewhere to perform, make some money of my own.
Go get yourself a gig for tonight.
Well, for us, because yeah.
Okay. So that's what you're doing. Rivallon, what are you planning on doing?
I'm going to wander around the town, get a feel for the place.
Okay. And Brunhelm, what are you doing for today?
I'm gonna sell this beautiful jewelry. Actually, what exactly jewelry do I have?
You have
From that dead body. Let me write this
from the dead body. I'm just gonna say you probably should have written it down when you got it.
Should have written it down.
When you got it. Yes.
Yep.
I
should have done, but I didn't.
I'm being nice right now by
looking
this up. You got, if I recall correctly, you got a pair of earrings and a necklace.
Okay, I'm gonna find a jeweler to try and sell them to.
Okay. And Isaac, you're just going out to your church and praying for the day, or specific?
No, just morning prayer. I wanna try and do my normal. I'm gonna try and pray for some guidance of what to do next if there's anything specific, because I was sent here to like sort of do good in the area, and I will ask my contact, so to speak, if there's anything that needs doing, and if not, is there like a park in town or anything?
It's not that big a town. The closest thing you could get is the only, like, the biggest place you could find, like.
Is there like a market square?
Cat! There's a market square. There's a market square that's open, but that's mostly filled with it's mostly filled with market stalls most of the day and some of the night. There is like a small open area to the north of that isn't filled with stalls, but it's mostly paved. It's just kind of like another secondary meeting square kind of thing. So there's not a lot of what you would call. It's not like a park. Right.
Okay.
Like that in town.
I will also just. I think I'll try to see try to find a map of the town actually.
Okay.
And then after we're done, me and Ustinia are done looking or trying to sell his whatever he wants to sell. I'm gonna try and find all the taverns or inns or pubs and see if any of them will let me perform tonight or during their rush hour.
Okay. So we'll tackle all of that. Ustenia, you trying to sell your chainmail?
Yeah, the chain shirt that I picked up.
All right. So you go around. How are you trying to find it? Are you specifically seeking out people with knowledge about the place, see who buys what, or are you just kind of going around?
Yeah, what I might do is try and flag down anyone that's carrying weapons, maybe with a town guardsman or whatever, and just sort of inquire about, is there an armor smith or a general store that sells armor locally that will buy them? I mean, I'm not going to do the typical thing of staying in the street. Say, hey, you want to buy? Want to buy a phone? You want to buy a shirt? You want to buy a shirt? Good
Cheap as
price.
chips, cheaper than Asda. Looky.
Looky.
Roll an investigation check.
No.
You ask around a bit. Your accent is a bit hard to come by, but you do flag down a guard at one point. Pretty high to comprehend that. He points you in the direction, like you say, you want to buy, you want to sell.
I want to sell chain. I want
You
to
want to
sell
sell
shirt.
chain, yeah. He
Metal
points
shirt.
you into the direction of he gives you directions to an area of the town, and you follow them. It leads you to the western side of the town. When you reach there, you this seems to be like the craftsman section of town, the craftsman's district. You hear the clanking of hammer on anvil. You smell the fires fueled by coal or fueled by charcoal. This seems to be where a lot of craftsmen are. And it doesn't take you long to find one that looks to make armor as a craft. A male human, very old, kind of white hair, very short beard, but seems to be on a break when you walk up onto his kind of craft area / shop, and you walk up and kind of offer the chain shirt. Takes a look at it, kind of appraises it for a bit.
Oh, I should have cast mending on it. Fixed anything wrong with it.
That would have been the time. He points out a couple of bits that have that need like work on them. The gussets in the arm aren't up to have broken rivets on some of the bits. Best I could do, maybe 20 gold pieces.
25? Okay.
He takes the chain, kind of balls it, like kind of lays it off on his workbench, and he gets his pouch and counts out 20 gold pieces for you. You now have them in your hand, heavy and real, and with your purchase finished.
Excellent stuff. Thanking you. Thanking you.
If you need any armor or weapons or anything like that, just inquire. I've got a pretty big selection in the shop itself.
You have arrows?
Yeah, I've got arrows.
Yeah, how much for quiver?
20 arrows. Let's see here. Gotta find the base price of those. Where the heck did they list base price for? There it is. A little piece. 15 silver.
Okay, yeah, I buy. One set 20.
One set of 20, 15 silver. And he gives you it's like a tightly packed bundle of arrows. They look to be well made, good quality, polished steel as the heads, and the everything else about the arrow is well made. So it doesn't seem like he stiffed you on it.
Yeah, no, I am a happy customer, and I'll head on back where Oren is.
All right. While that's going on, Rivallon, you're just getting. What specifically were you? You're just getting a feel of the town.
Yeah, just wandering, getting the feel of the town.
Okay, you spend an hour or two just walking the streets, minding your own business. You know, if you had pockets, hand in pockets, walking around. It seems to be a fairly average coastal town. A lot of hustle and bustle around the edge of the town where the docks are. When you get closer into the town, it gets a bit quieter, slower paced, except for the craftsman's area and the market square where a lot of things are being hawked and sold. But you think if you had a lot of money and you wanted to, you could probably find most things around here, just because of how much stuff's being sold in the market square itself. A lot of things available and on offer there. That's really all you're getting from just walking around. You haven't been really interacting with anybody, not too much. You do roll a perception check.
Rolling a perception check. 21.
When you're walking down one of the main streets of the town, kind of towards the central, like the keep on the hill to the north of town, you're walking towards that a bit, just getting a feel for it. It's mostly residential, but you come across a big board that has notices posted upon it, like written notices in Common and Dwarvish and etc. And you spot one that looks very official. So when you go over to it, you head over to take a look at it, and what seems to be a poster offering a job or requesting aid. It lists that the Northern Trade Road leading out of town is being assailed by a group of monstrous goblins, and the local reeve is offering a reward for individuals who can track down their location and deal with their base of operations. Any adventurers, and he will also pay a bounty of 5 gold pieces for every goblin ear offered.
I take the note off the board and head towards the local church to inform Isaac.
All right. So you start that way. While that's going on, because that was towards the end of your hour or two, and also while Ustenia and Arwen were doing their thing. Brunhelm.
Yeah.
You don't take a long time. You know where kind of a lot of the stuff in the town is.
Would I go more to sort of an antique dealer? I know these are old, and therefore
quite
maybe
old. They're
you know,
old cuts.
The artifacts.
It depends on what you want specifically. What would Brunhelm do? Would they go towards? Would they just try and sell it at a jeweler? It's themselves, or would they
probably
they head towards
more of a antique dealer?
Antique dealer. Okay. So you head to an antique dealer that you have heard about. You haven't been there. But you head towards an area of town that has a lot of those kinds of shops dealing in curios and antiques and those kinds of things. But you find a moderately sized shop on a corner of one of the streets that goes by the name. Hold on a second.
What a weird name.
The name, hold on a second. Wait a second here. Second. My notes are scattered. You find a shop that has it's got like I said, it's on a corner. It's a 2-story building, and it's got a label on it that says Arian's Oddities and Antiques. And when you enter,
we'll ask you to spell that name.
Arian's. I am going. It's probably not pronounced how it's spelled, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it. Eryn. Arian's Oddities and Antiques. But you, when you walk in to this building, you come into this main room that is just shelves and shelves of random knickknacks and things all over the place. No seeming order or system at all. No seeming regard for even physics, where in some shelves there are huge items that definitely shouldn't be on the top shelf, just kind of placed precariously on the top shelf, just kind of there, and it's like got a haze to the air, and it's very still and quiet. When you close the door, a bell is struck by a little post on the top of the door. And you hear, yeah, a little tinkle, and way in the back, like it's a very big building. It was very narrow, but it's a long building, and at the other end of this room, a tall, well, actually, you wouldn't see her. You hear a voice coming from the other end of the shop, and just goes, "Hello, over here." And you see, kind of through the haze, a very tall, young-looking woman, human. You feel you don't see any ears. Are you looking at anything particular, dear?
Actually, I'm here with a potential, well, something that I think might interest you quite greatly, that I've acquired on my journey.
Oh, a cellar. Come here, come here. She hastens you towards the kind of a desk next to where it looks like she does most of her transactions. It's much better lit than the rest of the shop, which it's very hazy and dark, not a lot of good lighting, because it's mostly covered. Any surface that would normally have lighting is mostly covered in random knickknacks and oddities. But she takes she beckons you over, and do you just present what you have, like in your like?
I have some cloth, and I will have wrapped these things in it to kind of, show that I want to look after them. They're not just shoved in my bag.
Yeah.
And I will, yeah, I'll kind of like place it on the counter, like carefully unwrap them, like, being extra precautious, like unnecessarily careful with these pretty solid objects to kind of, show they're valuable.
Okay. All right. So you unwrap them and begin kind of begin showing. These are these are the ones you took from the corpse in the chambers. So you just took those, put them in your bag, and then you put them in a cloth when you came out here, right? You haven't done anything to them.
I probably will have looked over them when I was in my room last night.
Okay. Okay. I've just been informed we're at the halfway point. So just as you begin showing that, before we start getting into dialogue, even though I have the voice in my head now, and I'm not going to get it again as soon as I leave this. We're going to take the break for the halfway point of the episode, or for this session. So take a 5-minute break, bio break for everybody.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
So if you're watching on the stream, we are taking our 5-minute bio break here. Do stick around for the second half, where I'm sure we'll get into more trouble, as we always do.
Oh.
But the rest of us we are only humans, unlike most of our characters, and we do require casual sustenance while streaming. Be right back.
Hell yeah. It's ice cream time.
How are you doing, Utari?
Yeah, not too bad. Bit strain at work. It's sort of the anti. It's one of those annoying things where it's either really really slow where we're waiting, and then it's really 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 fast and go 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 go, get this thing done, get it down, get it struck, get it done, get it down now, sort of thing. It's sort of like you're kind of expected to hang around waiting and then jump when they say, and it's really frustrating me. Combined with the ridiculous commute.
Yeah, I'm sure Crimson could have sympathized, because that sounds a lot like the whole hurry up and wait thing in the army.
Well,
I
mean, military family, we're pretty experienced in that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I heard. Yeah, I know you keep saying about your commute. Is that like how long do those jobs usually last where you're at? Like
It depends. Some jobs are only like 6 months. If it's just like the one block and it's a small one, like Peckham was, just a 6-month job. It's just 6 apartments over 3 floors. This one is 4 blocks. One is 90 foot, with about 5 apartments per floor. That's coming down now, and that's been up about 6 months. That's coming down now. The entire job itself is probably going to last until next winter. I'm guessing, maybe the summer.
You think you're gonna be there that whole time?
Yeah, unfortunately.
That sucks.
Yeah, and the scaffolds.
Well, I mean, not because you have a job. It's steady. I mean,
it's steady. Yeah, but it's not like it's the only job on the firm. The firm has plenty of other work elsewhere that they could put me on. That they're well aware of how difficult it is for me to get there. But it's because I'm experienced on that job. He's struggling for like decent people. Like, let's be real here with the situation. We've been
it's
getting a lot of
always
shit.
good to be the dependable person in a position, because that means you're not expendable for anything.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened with me whenever I was working in marketing. I became the person that wasn't expendable until they figured that out, and then they had me train people to be as competent as me, and then they fired me, and they kept them on at a lower rate. So it's always good to be the person they can't fire, because you're the one that they require. So I guess like double-sided coin there when it comes to that.
Yeah, it's a double-edged blade, with the whole thing that it's like I've never been laid off, and they've laid off plenty of blokes, including good workers. But sorry, just something coming in. But the other side of it is that if I get dumped on a job that's really far away because I'm useful. Oh god, that was loud.
Yeah, that was loud.
Sorry.
Obviously, I'm sort of left on a site because it's like, no, I want him there, I want him left there because blah blah blah. It doesn't help. Obviously, with the Slingers ticket as well, and that's a crane load site, and there's a lot of crane work. I'm doing all of that on top of being a scaffolder. So I'm sort of I'm spread thin.
I guess this doesn't.
With the amount and with the amount of streams I'm doing lately that I've kind of like committed to.
I was gonna ask, are you still doing that thing with Bob? Because weren't you doing something with Bob on or was that a one-time thing? Because you said I think it was last week or the week before, where you said
the Supreme Ruler.
Bob. Yeah.
We are still doing that. Not this week because he's moving, but we are still doing that Thursdays. I quite like Supreme Ruler.
No, Supreme Ruler's great. I love it. It's a great guy. I'm the one who showed Bob what it was when he first got it. No, I was just wondering because apparently he's still on his little tirade against people. Because he cut off I think he cut off Zayt and Dread this week, and everything. It was just I didn't want you to hear that you had gotten the axe too, because I thought that would be really bad.
No, I haven't, but I'm aware of Bob's side of things, and I'm not gonna play either side off. I'm hands off. It's between everyone else. I'm aware of both sides of the story that people want to talk, and I'm willing to listen to both sides, but I'm not going to get involved. It's down to them.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So how are you liking the second campaign of Critical Role, Roach?
Oh, I'm trying to get back into it, because that's the thing is I watched the first live. I watched the first 9 or 10 sessions that before what was it? I think it was before oh my god, I forgot her name. Travis's wife. Laura. Before Laura had the kid. I stopped watching that week when she had their baby.
Yeah, I'm not quite that far.
Yeah, I stopped watching it then because they had it was at the same time when Liam was out of the state, so he couldn't be there, and they had to have him in there, and like it's just like the worst thing happened where just so many people were gone, and I didn't watch it that week, and the next week I didn't watch it, and I just haven't gotten back into the swing of things yet. So it's been since then, but I love it. I love all the characters and everything.
Yeah, I've been flipping between the old campaign because I'm on like not even a quarter of the way through, and I'm also like, they're like in Zadesh, and they just finished in the sewers. But yeah, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, Critical Role's great. I think I'll probably just binge watch the second season from when I left off at one point, and I'll just binge watch through that at some point, because
I was just wondering because I saw a lot of like similarities. Or at least to me, they seemed like similarities.
I'm not sure what you mean. Like maybe with the last campaign that we were playing, there was some similarity. Well, not really.
Just really little things that could just be circumstance, like coincidence, I should say.
Like what?
Like collecting goblin ears. I mean, granted, theirs were like were hyenas, but same difference.
Bounties.
Dark, shady characters in the background. The gentleman, Ovar. A very criminal, big criminal.
As far as you know, Ovar is just a tavern owner.
A very shady criminal element.
A tavern owner who enjoys cherry leaf.
So, Lothian Tam, thank you very much for the resub, dude. You've actually pushed me over for the $100 mark, where I get my first payment from Twitch in 45 days, is it? At the end of this month, it'll be 45 after. Or is it 40 with Twitch? I don't know if you're saying something, Midge, but I can't hear you.
I can't hear you if you're saying.
Fuck, I forgot I muted my mic. It'll be 40 from the month turnover that you finish it.
40. Okay, lovely. Well, there you go, Lothian. You are the one who's tipped it over. My first ever Twitch payment, which will be $100. Thank you very much, dude. Woo!
That's always a great feeling when you get your first payment for something online.
Yeah, it's only taken, what is it? Since March, I've been really hammering out an affiliate. It comes out to about 70.
Yeah, that comes out to that's a much better turnaround time than when I started doing YouTube to when I actually got a paycheck from YouTube. Because I started my YouTube channel back in 2007, and I didn't get my first payment until last year.
Yeah. Well, this has all been little bits that have like accrued over that time. So it's nice that I've got to this point within a year of actually, being affiliated.
Yeah, that's what Twitch is a much better platform for supporting its creators. That's why.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had it all right. I'm having good luck with YouTube so far. My current growth rate is projected to. My current growth rate is what I've been hitting it. I might not hit it this year, but I've been usually gaining half my subscribers in whatever my current count of subscribers is at the beginning of the year. I gain half of that by the end of the year, so I double my, or I don't double, but I usually gain that. So like I started this year at 1,500-ish, and I'm at 2,600 right now. So I've got 400 to go before I hit my 3K, which I might be able to get to by the end of the month, by the end of the year, next 2 months, maybe, if I get really, really good numbers. But
That's pretty good though.
No, it's great. It's just that I've been. It's mostly just because I had to sacrifice a series slot because I was doing so much with Arma before. I couldn't focus on the channel as much. But now that I'm taking time off, I'm gonna try and get 3 series up again concurrently, because that usually nets me 150 subs a month if I go with that, and it's a popular series. So that might get me to my 3K maybe. I hit my viewership goal because I wanted to get to 250,000 by the end of the year, and I'm already at 300,000 views. So that's good.
Wait, you mean 250,000?
I have
200.
no.
It's talking views now. Not
Yeah.
Oh,
subs.
views. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like 2,600 is only like 250,000
No,
or
I want
10,000.
I wanted a quarter of a million views is what I wanted to get by the end of the year, and I hit that last month. So I'm ahead of schedule on that. So that means I've been doing pretty good in engagement and viewership. So.
Yeah, well, I just recently decided that I'm just gonna finish this semester and drop. Well, maybe I'm gonna finish next semester, see if I can't find something I enjoy. If not, I'm just gonna drop and go find something else to do. Maybe re-enlist.
Yeah, well, figure out what you like to do, man. What it is.
Right. We're all back. Are we ready to restart?
It would help if I unmuted myself, but
I'm ready.
just the little things.
Give me an extra minute. I'm trying to get my voice back into alignment here.
Right. I got some Ben & Jerry's just to finish.
Most people would say character, but
You
no,
see, I'm
in
not.
climate.
I'm not eating out of the tub. Because I'm not a
I just had
savage.
the time to
Absolutely
finish.
barbaric.
I'm Wickham. Just ignore the fact that I ate it out of the tub 2 weeks ago.
Aha.
I haven't had ice cream in like 6 months.
See, I'm lucky. The Roach family, we make our ice cream.
We had this discussion last week.
We did.
Yeah, I am, which means I'm still.
It's gonna come
superior
up every time.
Yeah, every time you eat ice cream, I still have a superior ice cream that I enjoy every night. Well, not every night, but when I have
As long as
it.
it's what you enjoy. Maybe not superior to everyone, but as long as you
definitely.
enjoy it, that's
It
what
is
matters.
definitely superior.
Oh, they be fighting words, man.
Okay.
Ah!
Caca.
Dookie.
I was like, I wish I had the copy of Rolo's Guide to Monsters, and we had used it in the campaign, because I would have loved for one of you to take a Kenku as a character.
Oh, that's so fucking hard to play though, because you're not allowed to speak.
You're not allowed to speak. Well, you're not allowed to speak as you're not allowed to speak as a character. It has to be a mimic. It has to be a mimicry of all time. So
Yeah.
You have to like really plan out their previous history to figure out what they would have been exposed to and everything, and be good at like mimicry and changing your voice up and like doing impressions of things. Like it's a hard thing.
Yeah. The only problem is like, how do you do that in terms of a fantasy realm? Because like I'd love to do it if we had if we could work in some real world stuff. Like I think it'd be really interesting to try and do one like only using Shakespeare quotes.
You could do it. You could
Yeah.
have.
You could do it.
You could.
Where there's a
you could have
little
you could have
known
one
bard
that's been-
called Shakespeare.
Yeah.
You don't have
Bard.
to be called Shakespeare. You could just be
Yeah,
called
you
Will.
can do it. So, we're back into it. So, Brunham, you had just exposed the jewelry, and
But I did pause to wonder if perhaps I should have rolled something last night in my room.
Oh right, yeah, okay. That's what I was doing before. Okay. It looks like as from the handling and being inside of your bag and everything, the little bits of rotted flesh and things that would have been left on the earrings as you took them out did not stay on after because of their handling. So you averted that. That flashes through your mind for a split second as
Just as I unveil it, I'm like, oh shit.
yeah, it doesn't look like that occurred. But instead of Iran's hands coming out to take hold of the jewelry just rises up off of the cloth and kind of like moves on its own turning, and she seems to be inspecting it without touching it. Some sort of magic hand spell or something is manipulating.
That is you doing that, right?
Yes, dear.
I thought so. Just making sure.
These are
I've come in
quite the
contact with some
find.
interesting joy in my time. Aye,
Haven't we
it's
all?
pretty old.
I love the idea that the dwarf has just pulled out ice cream while this happens.
Just eating ice cream whilst making an exchange.
Well, I mean, you know, what else am I supposed to do?
It's her breakfast.
Yeah,
Breakfast.
exactly. I'm just
Let them have-
actually porridge. I took it with me, you know.
Oh god, I might actually go get myself a bowl of cereal now that you mention it. I'm hungry.
Okay.
Do it. Run. Go grab cereal.
I've
Yeah.
just
I'll grab
ate an
some.
entire bowl of popcorn, so.
You're
I
just
finished
watching
half
it
a tub of Ben and
unveil.
Jerry's, you know.
These are quite the find. These are very, very old.
Aye.
4 or 5 centuries, I'd say.
I
Good
saw.
stone.
Yeah.
Nice cuts. And they're not in too bad a shape. Little moisture damage. What are you looking to get out of them?
Can I roll an insight or something on my knowledge of how much it's worth?
So 2 conflicting checks there, insight and knowledge.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to roll?
You're trying to use your own history.
Yeah.
Are you trying to use like your innate knowledge of something? Are you trying to use your history to do it? Like, what is it? What are you trying to apply to figure this out?
As someone who has probably dealt with and sold a lot of valuable goods.
Then roll a history check then.
5. Oh no. Oh dear.
Now you know how it feels.
You're not sure how much these are worth. From your history of it, you've dealt with some things similar to it, but these are quite old. And in better shape than some of the other things you've dealt with. You're not necessarily an individual that has dealt with a lot of antique jewelry before. In this
Do I
context.
know to the nearest like multiplier? That's no.
How many
More or
zeros
less-
on the end of the check?
Yeah.
More or less than 100 gold.
That's not 100 gold. Oh, God. Say it's in the ballpark of 50 to 400.
Wow,
Roll
that's
a
a
5.
big ballpark.
Yeah,
Well, I
she
didn't
rolled
roll
a 5.
great, so-
Actually, she rolled a 4. She had a +1 to history, so yeah.
I don't know that much about jewelry, apparently.
No, you don't.
I was dealing with other things.
Your bowl of porridge. What is more?
Yeah, okay. Well, they're very... I would say I'd be looking for about 500 gold. They're very valuable to the family.
Oh, That's a bit rich.
That means something different in English.
No, it's not.
Well, no, but I mean, it's not that polite.
No.
I could maybe do lower, or we could do a trade-in.
What have you got?
have plenty of things. It depends on exactly
This
what you're
massive-
looking.
Massive room, full stock room with items.
Well, yes, of course. It would depend on exactly what you're looking for. I don't deal much with weapons or armor. I have some of these I could maybe part with. These are worth quite a bit. They're not worth that much as you were looking for, but if you're wanting straight gold, 200 gold pieces, maybe. Or we could do a trade-in, and I could find a couple of things that might be worthwhile to you, depending on exactly what you want.
Do you have anything that's got magical properties?
Yes, I do. What are you looking for? A ring of power? No, not a ring of power, but a ring of magical power. Or are you looking for some sort of imbued armor? An item of wondrous origins, maybe?
Protection is good. Something that could stop me from being so hurt or make me less squishy.
Less prone to death.
Mhm.
Aye.
Let's see what we have here. And she kind of like gets a contemplative face.
My porridge is melting.
Just melting.
It's very poor porridge.
It's very strange porridge.
I mean, it was not. It didn't sound that expensive. Plain old wheat porridge, you know.
Wheat and wheat byproducts.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that what you somewhat eat, Midge? that and the components of
Wheat and wheat byproducts. Stale whole grain.
And she gets a contemplative face for a second, and you see for like a split second she no longer has any irises, and then they reappear.
Nice.
Yes,
Run!
I think we have a couple of things that could help you.
Should just do that to search her catalogue.
Is she a man or a machine?
Yes.
Yes.
We have a few things that could help you. Again, it would depend on exactly what you're looking for. We have a few shields of very good quality that could provide some extra protection if you're the type to use one of those.
How would one say in character, I desperately need a higher armor class and/or hit points?
I desperately need a higher armor class and/or hit points.
You need better armor or better ability to defend yourself.
I have studded leather armor. Like, I don't think I could do that much better.
Something that improves your
constitution.
Yeah.
I mean, hit points might be more useful at this point. Because I don't only have 8, and so a good attack can knock me straight out. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm squishy.
You are. I thought I was squishy with 12 hit points. Like, wow. Hang on. How have you only got 8?
I don't know. I figured it out when I made the sheet, and I haven't questioned it. I probably should have questioned myself.
I think that's
hold on. Continue that. Yeah, no, I think that. No, it's not.
5 plus your constitution is 5 plus your constitution for a rogue.
Yeah. It might not.
But you're level 2.
And then a D8 after that.
Okay, something's okay, lads. Don't make your character sheet when you roll.
Most of us wouldn't.
Well, we'll just and then Midge, you
I'm not
can...
judging you. I'm just judging you.
I'll double check some facts for you, Para, while you continue with your exchange.
Continue eating your
What's your
porridge.
constitution? Real quick, what's your constitution?
Yeah, what's your con?
I'm 11, so I don't have a plus modifier at all.
So it's 0.
Yeah.
So it's 0. So it'd be the hit die, which would be max on first level. So a hit die plus 0. So what is the rogue's hit die is not is
Oh,
not...
you didn't do a second. You didn't do a second when you leveled up.
Yeah,
to
you've
level
only
2.
you've only done.
Roll your hit dice again.
Yeah, you need to roll your hit dice again and add it to your max.
Okay.
Yeah, you're still level 1 health.
You did everything else for level 2, right?
I did do everything else for level 2. I'm pretty sure I did.
No wonder you're having such a hard time.
I do.
Oh dear.
You're a level 1 in a level 2 world.
I've done pretty well considering. You know, I didn't die.
Except for almost dying in every combat.
Hey, that's not true. I didn't get hurt at all for the first
The
time.
anxiety that has been plaguing her about going into the sewer and finding that box has kept her at a stress level where her health hasn't been able to recover.
The adrenaline is just
Yeah.
capped it. You know, I've been. Oh, look at that. Okay,
Wow.
I'm not worried
you
about
just
my health
doubled.
anymore.
Just double your
That's
HP.
one less than mine.
Oh, great! I'm now the weakest by on 11.
So you took your health and you doubled it, just like Isk in EVE Online. That joke will go over most people's heads.
Well, yeah, most people don't, dedicate their lives to that spreadsheet simulator.
I get
But I
myself
actually
an
have a
extra
higher
hit die.
viewership of EVE Online players being a relatively known face in EVE Online. So it's a joke that go down well.
So, let's see here.
Well, armor class is still quite useful because we get hit by things still. It'd be nice to not be hit by a lot of things.
In terms of magic items that could help you for protection, I have a masterwork shield that's very, very well made. That could help you. There's some armor that's available, given to me by a sea captain and his adventures. Where would it be? Right. And you see she homes in on one of the shelves, goes down partway through. You hear some rustling, and she comes back out with a set of armor that is a set of armor that looks to be of say almost leather make on first glance. It's in hues of green and blue with almost like a sickly dampness to the armor, even from this distance. Like it doesn't look dry at all when you see it. When it gets closer to you, and she brings it over to offer you to take a look at it. So she hands it to you. I'm just trying to get the actual damn stats in front of my face. I just have it written down and don't have the stats written down because I'm a moron. Come on, damn it. Come on. There we go. You take this armor in your hand, and like I said, it's of green and greenish blues. And when you get a hold of it, it doesn't just look wet; it feels wet. Like it's you can't wipe it away either. Like every time you wipe it away, it's still wet.
Fire resistant.
But when you look at it and the way that it's made, it looks to be made in a way that it's very flexible. All of its joints, even for like these leathers, it doesn't look like it would restrict you in any way, and it seems to particularly favor like overhead arm movements and the rotation of your shoulder. And after you've looked over for a bit, she's still smiling off to the side. I'm told that this was found out in the ocean on the corpse of an old shipwreck. As from what I've heard tell of it, it is very good for an individual who needs to swim quickly. It doesn't seem to hinder you when that occurs. And it has some sort of magical properties relating to the ocean, is what I've been told.
Is it?
So it's a wetsuit.
No, it's like Aquaman's armor.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. I'm Aquaman. But is it light armor?
Yes, it seems to be considered light armor.
Alright.
You don't necessarily think this would provide extra protection.
Okay, so it would increase my AC, but I could swim good.
You think if you wore this, you'd be able to swim probably at the same pace that you walk. If you wanted to. She looks at you. Now, if this isn't good enough in terms of protection, I have other items that, from the look of you might be interested in.
I don't know whether to be offended. But I will I'll nod. What else have you got?
You seem to be somebody who's adventurous. Could I take the liberty in saying?
I have seen adventure.
Well, for somebody who's out in the world and perhaps needs some protection, there's nothing better than a good offense, I would say. And I just so happen to receive a very rare and very effective item for the individual who is, how should I say, not too fussed about how they win. Let's go with that. Give me a moment.
I'm listening.
She goes back behind a kind of dividing wall in the building. Kind of divides part of the room. She like 4 books on my desk right now that are all open. Let me just get the stats up here. Gotta get the stats, and this is not in alphabetical order because again, I'm not smart. Damn it, where the hell is it? Need to make my own table of contents, looks like. Well, she goes back and you hear her rustling around for a long period of time. Some things falling to the ground. You hear her muttering under her breath, but she finally comes back around from the dividing wall, and you see she's carrying in her offhand, a small. Oh, there we go. a small vial that is jet black. Not the vial itself, but the contents of the vial are jet black. And when she comes back around, she presents it to you. Now, is that exact? Was I correct in that? Give me a second. Vial. Yeah. She presents it to you. Now this is a very rare concoction. It's hard to come by, and unfortunately this isn't the normal size that it should come in, but it's definitely worth your while. It's a oil that is made from it's made from boiling a black dragon in its own acidic secretions. You can apply this to a weapon, a dagger, an arrow, now what have you. And the concoction is so concentrated that it should cause it should increase the damage done when you strike an opponent with this oil-coated weapon, whatever it may be.
Wait, the damage will what be? Like...
Acid damage, probably, if it's
Oh.
a dragon.
That is very interesting. I'm very interested in that.
Is that a permanent boon?
I mean, she didn't ask that, so...
No, she didn't.
I couldn't ask. I'm thinking. Do you happen to know? Is it only sort of a one-time thing, or is it imbue itself within the weapon?
It is a one-time. It is a one-time application, and it'll last until it's used, because the acid secretion, the oil, will come off when the weapon strikes home.
All right.
There's 5 ounces here, and it takes about 1 ounce to coat a weapon or an arrowhead, if you wish to use it.
Okay. How would you feel about exchanging this armor and oil for my jewelry?
Oh no, it's an either or, dear. This is very valuable. The armor is valuable, but this takes quite. This is very hard to come by. The only reason I'm even offering this is that those pieces of jewelry are quite old, quite ancient, and could fetch a fair price on the open market. I know a few individuals who would love to have those in their collection, which is why I'm offering you this.
To stop me from going and selling it to these individuals and coming back and buying these things from you.
Well, I'm sure you don't know them.
I have contacts. I could just find out.
Well, then you probably would have gone to them first.
But I wanted to come here and see what you had to offer me. Because I'm nice like that.
And this is what I'm offering.
Can I roll a persuasion, please?
You can try.
That doesn't sound promising. 17?
It's not bad.
17. Not bad.
15 with a +2.
Now let's see what the person who makes a living being a merchant does.
Critical fail, critical fail.
Critical fail.
No, that wasn't a critical fail. You got a 17. For a second. Armor of the Vile, dear.
Alright, alright. I will take this vial then, please.
All right. You have taken a. You take the vial. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. And you now have 5 ounces of black dragon oil. I want to write that down.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, 5 ounces of black dragon oil, and I'll just copy and paste these stats. Because it is not in the SRD, because this is also a third-party item that is not in the base rules.
But we do know now that if we kill a black dragon, we can make some poison oil.
We know if we kill this woman, we can get some dope-ass armor.
Whoa, I'm not advocating murder, thank you.
You're not here, what you don't know doesn't hurt you.
And
How
there
are
you
you
go.
talking
Those are
today?
the stats. Those are the stats for
I'm
it.
loving.
I just gave them
Okay.
to you, so you'll get why that was worth so much when you read it. So while that's going on, and you're doing that, yeah, Isaac's so Isaac's just finished his morning prayers.
Have I been able to contact my contact?
Roll a religion. You're still not in a church dedicated to Palor.
I know. Extra effort? No.
100% effort.
Yeah.
Maximum effort.
Yeah, maximum effort.
And make sure you put that item in your inventory, Burnhelm, and you keep those stats, so you don't.
I rolled an 8. Well, no, I rolled a 5 with a +3.
Yeah.
My religion checks are just awful.
Yeah, they are. You don't get like.
I know that
you don't
feeling.
get. Yeah, you don't get a full vision or even like direct voices or anything that you're somewhat used to. But when you ask like, what should I do here or what should I do next, you get the vague feeling that your contact is.
Not at home right now. Please leave a
well,
message.
Well, no, is steering you towards continuing to do what you're doing right now. In terms of that you are on the correct path, that you are on your path, and that is you are not you're doing well with what you're doing right now, so continue on your path. But as you finish your morning prayers and you are leaving the church, Rivallon comes up. Because you said you were going towards the church.
I did.
So, yeah, you find Isaac as he's leaving the church from his morning prayers. He's very easy to spot since he's at
7
least-
feet tall.
Yeah, he's fucking huge. So yeah, it's pretty easy to spot him.
In a city full
I
of
was
dwarves.
I was looking for the flagpole amongst the dwarves, and I found you.
Kind of upsetting when you're taller than an elf, because elves are normally quite tall creatures as is.
Isaac, I was wandering the city and I found this notice of a goblin attack to the north. I'm having a heart attack.
Sorry. I I was quite choking on something I may have just absorbed. Let me see.
Here.
It seems they could be in need of our help.
While I don't care about village folk, it could be useful for buying supplies for our journey onwards.
I will help you.
It's very straightforward.
Why not? He helps people, I want money. We should probably ask our friendly barbarian if he wants in.
Assemble the team.
Yes.
You know, and his sidekick.
Is musically inclined.
I'm amazed at this point that I'm supposed to be the sidekick, and yet now it's him.
You have the accent. I can't do accents. It's why.
No, it's because he's probably done the most damage out of all of us. In the past.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But I've
got
done
a
the
close
most
second
friendly
with some of the
damage.
Oh no, I ran out of tobacco, so I can't use my pipe. Okay.
I mean, you could just have it as an you could just have it as an affectation. Yeah.
No, because now I'm just going to keep doing it.
Okay, I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Have you?
Go ahead.
Have
finish
you
that
seen?
sentence.
Have I seen?
Have you seen the dwarf? I wish to have a word with him.
I think I saw them leave just after us this morning. They were going towards the market.
I have that word.
We should probably find him too.
Yeah. Lead the way. You're easy to follow.
It's like on a school trip where the teacher just holds up an umbrella as they walk through London.
You are the umbrella.
You didn't need to hold up anything, because that would just terrify everyone.
just
Add an extra 2
Oh
feet.
my god, it got bigger!
just holding up the quarterstaff. My shadow comes over a dwarf who's looking at a market stall. They think the apocalypse is happening. You know. The sun. What happened to the sun?
Arwen, you've been trying to speak.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'd like to have gone and put on my fine clothes, and I'm gonna wander around, just trying to find somewhere to perform, including like the keep, or a theater that there might be in like the, middle class, rich people area, or a tavern, literally anywhere.
There you go, Isaac. He's gonna be singing to people. We can leave him here in the town.
Well, this is why you guys are all doing that. Because this is why you guys were all doing that. Arwen, you go around. You're not even let in the walls to the tavern, or to the keep.
Tavern? That's fantastic.
A wall tavern? No, you're not even let into the walls of the keep. You're turned away at the gates.
You have plenty enough court jesters.
Oh, did everyone just disconnect?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Hey, whoa,
come
hey,
back!
whoa.
It's doing that thing. It's like weird every time around this time of day. It does that. We've been noticing. But either way, we can keep going because you guys won't need the map right now. So you go around to the various different taverns, and you don't find a theater anywhere in town. It doesn't seem to be that kind of a town. But you go around to a couple of the taverns. Most of them seem to have. Yeah, most of them seem to. I'm rolling for all of these. No, I'm gonna say I haven't rolled over a 5 yet, so.
This town's shit. Let's leave this place.
I'm just gonna point out I just rolled for like 8 taverns and I didn't roll over a 5. Oh no. Yeah. I rolled a 1.
It's not anyone's day for rolling today, is it really?
It is really not. Well, no, I did roll pretty high on a couple of those.
Rivallon, he's doing good.
I did good. I got decent perception.
Don't point it out. Nuffle might destroy our dice.
So, you go around. They seem to all of them kind of have people to play in them already.
Okay, Can I just leverage my one of the feats as being an entertainer? As by popular command, I demand I can always find a place to perform.
You can find a place to perform. You find a
Street corner.
He's gone back to the
It
series.
doesn't-
He's busking on the underground.
That feat, which is entertainer, does state that you can find a place to perform at all times. Doesn't mean that you'll find a venue. It means you find a place to perform, because those are two different things. You do find a place to perform. You find an open corner in an affluent part of town that seems to be well traveled, and it looks to be a fairly good place to perform if you would want to.
All right, I guess I'll perform here then.
Okay, how long are you planning on going for?
What time is it?
It's still fairly early in the morning. I would say doing all of this, since I said all of you guys were kind of doing this concurrently with each other, because you didn't go with Ustenia to do his selling stuff. So this is all happening while Ustenia is doing his selling, Isaac's doing his prayers and getting told about this, Rivallon's going and telling, going around town and then telling Isaac about all of his...
So it's like...
about this. And
10?
Brunhelm is doing that. So it's like you all woke up around dawnish, or a little bit after dawnish, so it'd be like 7 when you woke up. You spent about 3 hours kind of doing that, so you're here at 10:30ish.
All right, till like after lunch, so like 1.
Okay, so you want to go for about 2.5 hours. Let's do 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 hours.
Okay, make 3 performance checks for me.
11.
18, 20.
As an entertainer, don't you get advantage to performance checks?
Do I?
Performance.
You might want to check that then. Somebody who's leveraging a feat, you might want to check that.
Because I know I had, as when I was playing a bard, advantage to performance checks, but I can't remember where it came from.
Going to point out this would be something you'd have probably on a character sheet if you had your character sheet set up correctly. It would be...
Well, yeah, I didn't see anything on here that says advantage.
It might have been because I had a wondrous item in form of my loot. That could have been the thing that did it.
No, I don't think I get advantage.
You might. I mean, are you proficient in any of your instruments?
I'm proficient in all of my instruments.
Nah, it was something. I think it was because Artlocks had a magic lute or something like that. Whenever you got that. Either way, and I just double checked it by popular demand thing. But you spend the next 3 hours performing on your street corner, doing that. And when you do so, the first hour, it goes okay. You get some interest, but not too much. You're still getting to the swing of things. It's been a couple of days since you've kind of played for people.
It's because I had the class actor. That's what it was.
The next hour goes a lot better. You're kind of getting into the swing of things. People are stopping, tossing some gold pieces into I don't know. How do you carry something you've put in front of yourself? So I don't know what you would have put in front of yourself to catch things, but a couple people tossing some gold pieces and various other denominations of coinage. And your third hour is your best one. That's when you get that's when you hit your stride, playing, singing. You even got a couple of poems mixed in there. You're just knocking it out of the park, and you definitely get most of your money around that point in time. So grand total, you've done 3 hours and you've made. Okay, so I can roll a D10 pretty well today. You've made 46 gold pieces total. Various denominations of coin, but just mark it down as 46 gold pieces worth of income for the day. Just all that time. It was a very good part of town. You read your street corner well, and you played really well, and it worked out good for you. You don't think you'd get this every day, in terms of thing, but in terms of like income, but today was a good day for you when you finish up.
Cool. All right, and then I'll just head back to the Jester and Flask.
All right. So, Ustenia, what are you doing after you sell your stuff? You just head back to the Jester and Flask?
Back to R1. I'd look for R1 being, kind of his guide and bodyguard.
All right, you find him. You find him like a half hour after you sell your stuff, and then you'll follow him back to the Jester and Flask after he's done singing. Isaac and Rivallon, what are you trying to do?
We're trying to find
everyone.
Ustenia.
Ustenia
Just
and
find the party.
yeah.
All right.
We want to kill
Brunham,
goblins.
Brunham, what are you doing?
I'm not going to go back to the Jester and Flask just yet. I think I will go and have lunch in the other tavern.
The Brass Wand.
Mm.
Okay, you do so. It costs you a gold piece for the good meal if you wanted a really good one.
I do.
Okay, so you get that.
Breakfast was lacking.
Indeed it was. So
It melted.
You got a really good meal. It was a roasted shellfish with pepper and leek and a glass of mead. Yes. I just have a whole bunch of like medieval-ish and fantasy meal combos just kind of like on a list that I use for all this shit. It's unique every time. But you have a good meal. And let's just say, and after that you head back to the Jester and Flask.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking for the others.
Okay, so for convenience sake, and controversy, you all get back to the Jester and Flask fairly close to the time the other people do. So you all meet up around the same time in the or just outside of the actual tavern. So, what would you like to do? You're all meet up and back together again.
Rivallon has informed me that there is a caravan that is in need of help. They are being plagued by goblins, and there is a bounty on goblins if we return with trophies of the kills. Not to mention if you complete the task. It's for the town reeve. If we're in need of extra cash, I would suggest you come with us.
5 gold pieces per ear.
And plus, was there a flat fee on the thing for the job?
I can't
100
remember.
gold pieces for the job completion.
100 gold pieces for the completion.
What do they count as completion? No more
Lots of
goblins,
dead goblins.
Plus 2 ears per creature. So that's a minimum of 10 gold per creature.
100 gold for the job. That's 20 gold each.
We could probably see a return of about 200 gold.
How many goblins do you think there's gonna be?
That would be 10.
Yeah.
It's a rough estimate of a raiding party.
Okay.
Would I have a better idea of how many raiding parties are generally likely, given how traveled I am?
You've worked as a bodyguard and an adventurer and things. Yeah, you can roll a history check. Go with advantage.
I know the area.
Oh, and I'm gonna give Ustinia 8 gold for payment. 'Cause,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, money.
Yes, my wages, yes.
This is right. I'm hired. I'm
Are you
hired.
gonna share the money that you got off of selling the things with him? Or is that for you?
No, that was for me. That was my payment that I demanded. Everyone else got other objects as well.
I came away with nothing.
he hires me, not the other way around.
You came away with a free bath.
So
Hey, Isaac, you had 4 pounds of PCP.
That's
so
true.
And a free
you
bath.
destroyed it.
Yeah, but of course, the policeman-esque one is the one that finds the drug load.
Yep, the incredibly lucrative drug shipment. You're not sure. 10 sounds like it could be correct, though. You've seen larger and you've seen smaller. It's incredibly varied. It depends on what they mean by because the poster itself stated that there are goblins that are hindering trade along the North Trade Road, and they're paying for goblin ears and for the destruction of the goblin camp or settlement. So that covers a huge variance of numbers there, as far as you're concerned, or in what you know. So that's what you get out of your history. You're just goblins are unpredictable.
It could be lucrative. Plus, we would probably keep anything we find.
I mean, I could use some money. I need to go buy a pearl that's worth 100 gold. So
Shall I do some ritual summoning?
The size of a chicken egg.
hey, I don't make this shit up.
So I'm guessing that's a component for one of your spells.
Yeah, identify.
that is an expensive.
You can as a bard, you can use music to ritual summon. It would take you an hour, but you could do it without.
Yeah.
That's
For
the whole
identifying.
point.
Oh,
of
is that how ritual summoning works?
Yeah, you take an hour and you just do it with music and stuff. It just
Oh,
but it
okay. I
takes
did
an
not
hour.
understand that part of spellcasting at all.
Yeah.
That's why bards are really good, because they can do
They
everyone's
don't-
spells, but it
And
takes them
things
forever.
like druids. Druids can do rituals as well.
Yeah, but druids require a certain set of items, don't they, for rituals? Whereas bards literally need music.
I think it just depends on the spell.
I think it just depends on the spell, because I think you can also be a wizard and you can ritual cast some things. I
Oh, it
think
just takes
it's
10 minutes longer.
Really?
Than normal.
It just takes
Okay.
10 minutes longer. Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if it's an hour every time. Again, I think it depends on the spell.
Okay.
If he just plays a tune at the item, he can
So
identify.
what are you guys doing? You've now all been informed about the job. You also know that you were informed that by the individual last night that they might have a job for you, but and they also informed you that you may be working, that the payment would come from the Reeve, the local Reeve. So
I suggest we go and talk to the Reeve if we want to accept the job.
Well, I can tell you we're not going to get past the walls, past the gate.
the Reeve is distinctly different than the local Lord. I'm just going to point
Oh.
out.
I was under the impression Reeve was the same as the last thing.
What is a reeve for people that aren't even going to pretend to know what it means?
Is it
It's
like
mayor.
the sheriff mayor type thing?
Yeah, they're the one that they're the non-noble, like kind of power position of like a city or town. They're the ones. They're the ones that are like you. Mayor is a good one because you also have you would have a sheriff, or you would have a local like constable in the town. That would be the
Tax collector, basically.
Does the
Yeah.
notice say we have to talk to the Reeve before we go do this?
No,
It does not.
but
Whether or
you
not,
probably
it's probably
verify.
very advisable.
He'd probably give us more information and such. Also, my chat is informing me that bards actually don't get to ignore material components, and I was wrong.
So you need that $100 gold piece pearl now.
Need it after all.
God damn it!
Thanks, chat.
we gave you
Fuck you,
100, we
chat.
took it away.
I know, but I could have sworn in ritual castings you could ignore it, but that's fair. Anyway, yes. So I am going to begin walking towards the reeve.
I will go with Isaac.
I like to be behind Isaac.
I mean,
For
I will.
safety purposes.
I'm gonna walk in front because I'm obviously the leader of this group.
Keep telling yourself that.
And he's
Of course you are.
afraid I might step on him or something.
All right. You walk in a direction. None of you know where the reeve is.
Do I know?
I thought I picked up a map.
You never said you. Oh, were you trying to pick up a map of the town?
Yeah, I requested.
You never did that. You never got to that though, because
Oh,
you were gonna do
Rivallon.
that after.
Okay.
You were
I'm
do
gonna
that
pick
after.
up a map and then go find the reeve. I know there's a merchant's quarter, so I'm just gonna go there and try and find one. There's gotta be a
Okay.
gem.
Do I just know?
Broodhound, you actually, yeah, no, you well. Oh no, Reeve's kind of part of the law enforcement.
Yeah, maybe I would know where the law enforcement is.
Know to stay away.
I am the law.
Yeah, you know where the reeve, you know where the reeve is, so you would know that is. Isaac, whether or not you tell Isaac that is as he trundles towards the merchant's quarter to pick up a map, as he openly states he wishes to have a map.
What do you need the map now? Because I can take you to the reeve without it.
Lead on to the reeve, Master Dwarf.
Hey, I'm a master. It makes me really happy. Cool. Off we go.
Alright. Okay, you head towards the Reeves residence / office. It's in the more affluent portion of town, so it's a bit of a backtrack for R1 and Eustinia. But you reach there not too long after you leave the Jester and Flask. It is a large 2-story construction made of wood and stone. And there is a small side entrance that looks to be for official business.
I go to the entrance that looks the one for public use.
Okay.
Are we not here on business? Are we not here on business?
But we're not here on request. We are here as citizens, as members of the public wishing to offer services.
If a request was issued to the public in the form of a leaflet, are we not responding to that?
So, semantics. We'll just go inside and find out.
Alright.
Alright.
Sure, there will be a clerk who will point us to the right place.
Ask the secretary.
I'm sorry, you're in the wrong line. You need to go to the line B.
You filled in the wrong form.
God.
You
need the red form.
132.
This is the lilac form.
No, you need the red form. This is the scarlet form.
And you need it in triplicate.
Have you also
Where's your-
included Form 25C with that?
Do you have your carbon copy?
All the while, this clerk isn't looking up at you, just like writing stuff.
Yeah.
Computer says
You,
no.
What's the film where they have to have like the robot lawyer guiding around the princess to be able to claim her title? Anyone remember that? And she's going through like millions of different departments with this robot lawyer.
No, I don't know.
What? What?
There's a film out there. I remember watching it. I can't remember which
The
one
only
it
thing
is.
that
but
makes me think of is Hitchhikers, because they have to they
They.
go into the Vogon to try and get
Atherton just wants to queue. He just wants to queue.
and then they hold up the queue using Marvin's arm.
I think it might be even that. Didn't they have like a remake? I'm pretty sure that might actually be it. I've got to look this up now.
A robot lawyer and a princess.
You've had too many wyvern tears.
Are you sure it wasn't a fever dream?
Apparently, it might be
No,
Jupiter
no, 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 no,
Rising.
no.
It might be
Jupiter
Jupiter
Rising.
Rising, according to my
Jupiter Rising.
Or Jupiter Ascending, either one of the two.
Oh, not
Yeah,
Jupiter Ascending. Oh, God.
Anyway, yes,
So-
we go inside.
You enter the side entrance that looks to be for business, and when you enter, you come into a small room that has a desk and a dwarvish woman sitting behind it. She seems to be some sort of secretary or clerk, Jupiter Ascending. Yeah. She looks up from what she was writing down. She has a quill and parchment in front of her. Can I help you?
We are responding to this. I hand over the leaflet that Rivallon gave me.
She looks over it. Yes, this was issued by the Reeve. Here to report its success.
We were looking for more information before we attempted the job.
Oh, I'm afraid the Reeve's quite busy with other things currently. There's not much else that could really be said. That's on the poster itself. There is a goblin encampment or some sort of settlement somewhere up the North Trade Road that is ambushing and attacking different caravans and traders along their journeys.
Any reports as to a more contained area, or?
I'm afraid not. It's somewhere up the Northern Trade Road. That's all the information we really have to go on right now. If we knew exactly where it was, we could just send the town guard to deal with it.
Right.
Mm.
Once we complete the assignment, do we return to here?
Yes, bring your trophies and proof, and the Reeve would be happy to meet with you and provide the compensation.
Thank you.
Told you we should have just gone.
It just slightly nudges the halfling. Shut up.
That could be.
I'm just gonna
I
hit
mean,
his
that
head.
thing is like, down pretty
Yeah, you're
far.
just
I
gonna
know.
hit his head if you nudge him.
How
With
do-
your-
how
No,
do you
no, I'm
know
doing it
it?
with my foot, so it hits him in the chest, you know.
So, to the
Is there-
North Trade
Is
Road.
there
then.
anything else I can help you with, or is that all?
That would be all, thank you.
To the
She
North
nods
Trade
to you
Road.
As you leave, she nods to you.
If everybody has what they need before we leave, I suggest we begin tracking these goblins before we lose light.
All right.
Do we have anything to put all the ears in so it doesn't mess our
I have-
bags up?
I can make a necklace.
Yeah, I like this idea.
I have
smart man.
saddlebags.
Oh no.
Oh god, that just reminds me of that episode of The Walking Dead where Daryl just starts taking ears from
I mean, I
zombies for no
literally
reason.
today watched an episode of Mad Men where they talked about ear necklaces in Vietnam.
Yeah, the Ultimate Soldier or something like that.
Well, I was thinking the
Film with
Pacific.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
So
Dolph
It's the
Lundgren.
starting scene, and he's sewing ears together. Yeah.
does that happen in Full Metal Jacket as well?
I know it
I
happens in
don't
the Big
think
Red
so,
Ones.
No.
It happened. I think it happens in a Vietnam film as well. I know it happens in a World
There's
War II film, but it also
Apocalypse
happens-
Now, or Armageddon
Possibly.
Now.
Alright, anyways, we're getting off track again.
Yeah.
we are.
Let us begin tracking these goblins. Justine,
Alright, so-
you are quite versed in the wilds. Once we get out there, maybe you could lead the way.
Or
I
Rivallon.
can do this, yes.
Oh yeah, and should you want to retrieve your horses for this mission, I would suggest.
Good
Yes,
idea.
I need to go.
Oh,
get
you
close.
were thinking no one gonna forget.
I was almost I almost assured that you were going to forget because you're a normal D&D party. And if it's not directly in front of you, you have no object permanence.
Hey, I remembered that they needed to be checked on.
I have been
We
playing
care
with
about
you,
horses
Roach,
in this D&D party.
I know, Midge was the only one to mention it. Which
I've been playing with you for almost 3 years now. That's why I know.
Because if he wasn't here, it was gonna be 3 weeks from now. Whenever you're in a completely other part of the continent, you're just gonna be like, "Oh shit, we left our horses back at Fall Harbor."
I know that because I had to look after Waffles for many, many times. For those who don't know, Waffles was my half-dead horse that I stole in the first episode of our original series.
Not undead, just almost dead.
Its face was caved in by a zombie.
Oh my god.
And he kept it alive, the sick bastard.
It outlived me. Like,
yeah, no, it outlived Artlox. Yeah, that's true.
Well, the blessings of Papa Nurgle and all that, you know.
Yeah. So you retrieve your horses and your items, and you begin your journey out of Fall Harbor. Midge, how long we got before the end of the session?
We've still got a while. It depends on. We've got about 15 minutes until Utari makes a decision if he leaves, and we have
45 minutes until
45 till the actual end.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because and also Otari, let us know if you're starting to
flag.
11. Are we 11 o'clock our time? Is that we're ending?
Yeah, that's our normal.
I'll go to 11. I'll go.
Because last week you had a really bad time, so we ended early. So that was.
Yeah, I was gone.
Yeah. It's fine. So, you just need to let us know, you know.
Yeah, we understand.
We're thinking about you, sir.
I do actually really appreciate that.
Hey, that's no big deal.
Yeah, we need our barbarian for the fights, you know. It's all selfish.
Yeah, it's all selfish reasons.
We'll die without you. So.
Oh, we need this Robin.
You begin your journey out of the town proper, and start your journey along the Northern Trade Road. There are multiple roads around Fall Harbor, but most of them don't seem to go anywhere. They go to small settlements, farms. One of them seems to be dedicated towards a mine that's off to the east of the town. That you've heard a couple references to blasting going on out there lately. In the last couple of days, the last day, since you've only actually been in Fall Harbor for 1 day and 1 night so far, before you've left. But you begin your journey north. It's actually quite nice. Most of the road is well traveled. It's not paved, but it's very packed down earth. Each side of it is raised slightly with fencing along it. As you go about your journey, you see farms in the distance that are being actively tended to. You see livestock and random other animals along here. It seems most trees and forests are cleared out quite a ways from the road itself. And you spend a good part of the day traveling along this road at a moderate pace. You're not stressing yourselves, but you're not dilly-dallying either. So you get a decent way.
Are you guys riding your horses or just?
I'm walking with them.
You can walk with. The horse can walk at a human walking pace.
Yeah. I'm just I would probably sit on it because I'm lazy, but.
But it's starting to get late when you come across a small inn along the road, just off to the side. Let's see here. It looks to be wooden in construction, single story, nothing fancy, but it does have lights coming from inside of the windows. A couple of horses are tied up out front, and there's a small stable off to the side that also looks to have a couple of horses inside of it. And you hear talking from inside as well. So it looks to be an active tavern/inn on the side of the road, just as the last bit of light from the day is going over the horizon.
Is there any music?
It doesn't seem like it. You don't hear anything.
Might it be worth not starting a hunt in the dead of night?
Might be better if we stopped for the night.
I would actually suggest, rather than stopping, we go into the inn and see if we can get any information. This is clearly on the route for the traders. Some of the traders might have some intel for us. The goblins are most likely to attack at night. So if we want to catch them, if we want to catch them before they attack anyone else, it might be potent that we continue our journey, but stop quickly for maybe a respite if you're hungry, and as much information as we can get.
But if they're attacking at night and we get them during the day, then they'll be resting, though, and we'll have the advantage.
But
strategically speaking.
But in that time, more traders might fall to the sword of the goblin.
You're too
But we don't also want to exhaust ourselves.
Sacrificing one trader caravan for the sake of saving all the rest.
Also, some of us can't see in the dark.
I can.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can.
You care about these random traders, but you didn't care about Arwen's eyesight.
Very well, we will stop.
Right, so I'm gonna go in and try and talk to the bartender, tavern keeper, whatever their name is, whatever the title is.
We just the jukebox is still on Medieval Town.
And
I'm gonna go in and try and find traders.
What I want to do.
Okay.
So I have a plan. What I want to do is ask if it'd be okay to perform, but just for a meal, in a room. Like I won't take profits.
Quite
it would just go
literally.
to room and bread,
Quite
room and
literally
board
supper.
for me and Ustenia. And then,
Do you want to extend it to all of us?
hey, this is my deal with him is
He's not that good of a bard, okay?
I pay the room and board for him, okay? And I'm pushing it because technically it says just for me in the thingy, so
yeah, technically
I'm kind of pushing it.
You, but...
And then I'm gonna, like, since music and stuff makes people friendly, I'm gonna then use that, hoping I do well, to start talking with people, trying to get information that way instead of just bluntly going up to someone and saying, "You're a trader. Have you seen any goblins?"
Whereas Isaac's just going to be a 7
I am literally going to pull out a notebook and go up to people. Excuse me, sir.
I will do. Okay, I'll do this. For the second part there, because we still know if you do a well enough performance roll, I will say Isaac gets advantage on his investigation checks, or any checks he has to make in relation to this, because you are making everybody, you're de-stressing everybody, you're getting them all kind of buttered up and in a better mood. So
okay.
I will allow that as a thing.
Can I talk to you about our Lord and Savior Paylor?
So
I'll be back.
First,
I'll be back in for Arwen with my flute.
Yeah. So R1, you walk up to the person that seems to be in charge, and you see a very tall, kind of spindly, kind of elf. He is seems to be moderate age, not white or anything like that. But when you come up and talk, he immediately, as if he knows this country very well, immediately his eyesight is already down towards like dwarvish height. So just by natural instinct, he goes, "Can I help you? Looking for a room? Some mead?
Yes to both of those, but I have a proposition. Would it be amenable to you if I were to play some music and, you know, people are happy, having fun, they'll buy more ale, mead, and spend gold, have a good time. In exchange, me and my companion, I'm going to point to the barbarian, get a room and a meal.
Would you accept? This is just if you. I will allow it. But if any tips you receive go back to the house.
Deal.
Got yourself a deal then. So you I'll have a room for you whenever you're winding down for the night. And what's your poison?
Just a mug of mead, please.
And he gives you a mug. And would you like anything to eat before you start, or are you good?
Ustane, are you hungry?
Years.
Yeah, we'll have some food. What do you got?
All right. Well, I'll be picking that since I'm the one paying for it.
True. Good point.
It gives you some out of the. A couple minutes later, he brings out what seems to be some boiled mutton and a bit of soft cheese with bread.
Alright, I'm gonna eat and then
And start
perform.
playing. Okay,
Yeah.
give me a performance check. And then remember, if you get a high enough roll, it'll affect Isaac's rolls.
God damn it.
He broke a string.
8.
You got an 8.
I'm assisting.
No, he
by the
rolled
way.
a.
I have
he-
a flute.
Are you? You're assisting.
I did say that I'll join you. I have this flute. I did say that.
Are you? You are proficient with the flute.
Yes.
Okay, then he does get advantage on that, which means
23. That's quite a difference.
Yeah.
Instead of
Well,
the
that's
3
what-
that you rolled.
that's what
was fine.
assisting is good. That's
Yep.
what assisting is a very good thing. So
And I mentioned it beforehand as well.
you did.
did.
You did. So yeah, because that is a rule, is that you have to apply assistance before the roll is actually cast. So I will allow that even if I forgot it. So yeah. Okay, so you rolled 23. You do fairly well with Ustenia assisting you, as if you have both done this quite often during your travels. Very used to it at this point. Ustenia is not taking the lead. He's just giving you a baseline from which to play off of, and you're. I don't know anything about music.
Play baseline on a flute, which is
Yeah, I was
definitely
gonna
a lead
say
instrument.
the flute is not the tune.
It's more like he's playing the melody.
He's playing the melody. I don't know anything about music. So,
Well, then what are you doing?
I'm singing and,
Singing would be fair.
Okay.
singing, telling
doing everything
stories.
else. He's doing everything else that he can. He's essentially he's the front man. Yeah, but Usteni's providing backup with flutes and.
I've just
and
got,
helping.
because of now it's gone from an 8 to a 23, I've got the clip from the first Anchorman film going through my head, where he pulls out the flute and starts playing jazz flute.
I'll play a few times.
Yeah, where it just comes out his sleeve, like...
Almost like he was like already ready for it.
Yeah. So you go ahead and you do that, and it seems to get everybody in a far better mood. There was you definitely tell that there was some discontent going around the individuals inside of the tavern when you came in, but everybody's getting far better mood, buying more drinks, enjoying themselves, which is around the time that Isaac, you begin your mission or your investigation, whatever. So what do you specifically try to do? You just
So I'm canvassing the bar for information about the goblin attacks, focusing on people that like they're travelers or traders that are passing through and stopping at this that might have heard something, seen anything. any huntsmen in the area that might have seen tracks, things like that.
Okay.
And investigation check. 15. 15. That's reasonable.
Yeah, it's above average. Okay. Most people here look like travelers, because there is no town around this tavern. It is just a road tavern. But you do find a couple of people that look to be more trader like. They look more foreign. They're not from around here. You see a burly dragonborn and a kind of cleaner looking human kind of sitting by themselves off to the side. But when you come up and you ask them if they know anything about the goblins in the area and what's going on when it comes to that, the human kind of knocks back a mug of whatever he was drinking, although it does smell strong. He seems to be amenable to telling you what he knows.
I'm listening.
We were traveling up the old trade road up near the Blind Hills when we found it. An overturned wagon in the ditch. Avis, he points towards the Dragonborn, took the shadows, scattered ahead. I returned with some strange details. The wagon been transformed, such as that it appeared to be some sort of miniature fortress. Signs of goblin work apparent. Broken shields reinforcing the walls. These crude slits for arrows in the driver's bench. Makeshift flags hanging at the top. Whole affair. We left it alone. But even from where we were, you could smell the old fortress, unfinished moat. Almost made us rich. That must be where they're from. Where they're striking out at us from. We haven't been able to get past the North Trade Road for at least a week.
Do you have a map where you could point this out on?
Yeah, like...
He gives you as you're writing things down, he gives you a rough kind of verbal map of where to go.
So he doesn't an map where we are.
You never bought a map before you left the town.
That's why I was asking if he had a map, because I wanted to see if he could point it out. Does anybody in the tavern have a map? says the large.
This is what happens, Brunhelm, whenever you try to weigh your local knowledge.
I asked him if he wanted a map anyway. I said, do you want a map? Because I know, you can go. I don't put this on me.
That's gonna be a theme. That's gonna be a theme of this campaign. Is every time you go like, oh shit, we forgot a map again. God damn it.
Does anybody in the tavern have a map?
No. It is a
bloody typical.
Wait, don't you have cartography tools?
Exactly,
like
I was gonna copy it.
Well, just off his word, he could draw a rough map.
Okay, I will draw a rough map.
He gives you a verbal map of where to find the thing he is describing.
Okay.
And essentially says you go up the northern trade road a bit, and there's a little offshoot around the old trade road that hooks around towards the Blind Hills. You go there, and then off to the side, and he kind of gives you that. So it looks like it's a small offshoot of the main road, kind of like an older spur of it. You're about the measurements don't work on this map because I didn't give a shit this time. You're about right there on the road, and what he's describing it's right around here. So it's not too far.
I got it. Okay. So 9 feet. So I just need to take one step. As
Actually,
I
that's
can
even
lay
further.
down and touch
I
it.
can fire from where I
I
am.
was trying to ping it. You're here, and the thing is there.
Okay. Yeah.
It's more like half a dozen steps.
13 feet, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I do one roll.
I just
6 foot.
I stand there and fire my bow in the general direction.
No, it's fine. I thank the trader for his information and tell him that hopefully we will have the trade road open soon.
That'll be great. We've been needing to get up north to Sleet Hole for, like I said, a week now.
I like Oddball's comment in chat. Hold on, I've got to share this. What's worse, a second lieutenant with a compass or a dwarf with no compass?
Second lieutenant with a compass.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I will tell Rivallon and Brunhelm what I've found.
Thank you. So it's not far then, just up and around the corner.
It would be about the same distance we've traveled today.
So it'd be about a half day's travel from where you're at right now.
So essentially, we could get there this evening.
I reckon we should set off pretty early in the morning.
Rest tonight.
We could
Leave
leave
in the
before
morning.
dawn.
Yeah.
Hit
Go
them
into
during
the
the
cover of
day
darkness, hit them at dawn.
Right.
when they're bedding down for the day.
Excellently.
They'll be
Travel in
tired.
the early hours.
Tired.
Strike him down.
So I'm gonna
Okay.
play for like an hour, Roach, and then whatever tips I happen to get, I'm just gonna take to the bar and then head to
How
our
much
room.
is a nice meal?
A nice meal?
And also a room.
Let's see here. Nice meal. Be about 3 silver pieces.
For the
Take-
room as well, or for just for the meal?
Oh no, that was for the meal. For the room, it's very full up because a lot of the traders haven't been able to get out of here, so they're charging a premium. It's going to cost you 5 silver pieces for the night.
I am going to find a place to bed outside, I think.
All right.
I'm gonna
I
risk
will
getting
order
shot in the night.
a nice meal for 3 silver pieces and then meditate on the ground outside.
All right.
I'm gonna say a prayer, go to sleep, eat the rye bread that I pocketed earlier.
I'm gonna pay the money.
Okay. So you all have your accommodations for the night, and you go to sleep. I would say we have 20 minutes to go before the end of the thing, our
Yeah.
normal stop time. I would say we should probably end it here because we're about ready to get into a
Big fight.
Combat.
thing. Well, maybe not combat. We're about ready to get into a thing where it probably
A part
it
of the
wouldn't
adventure.
where wouldn't lead where it wouldn't lend well to just stopping midway through. So this is probably a good time to end it for today.
Okay.
Okay. So, if you've been watching the stream, thank you so much for coming. Just as always, a big thank you to Roach for coming up with the campaign. As always, he puts lots of time and effort into this thing that we don't have to, so we can have fun every Wednesday and just sit here and play. I mean, he has fun too, so it's a way up. But he does
so
have
much
to
fun.
Come on, you love playing with our minds and making us feel things.
I do. I do love being a puppet master.
But if you haven't already, I would also suggest, and you haven't caught up, why not check out the podcast version that we have now available? It has a little bit of extra bonus content. There will be even more bonus content coming with that soon. But you can now find our podcast version on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean. And I'd we'd all much appreciate it if you go check that out. And if you're a longtime fan of anything we do, leave a review, leave a rating. It really helps us out if you do. Let me just put the Twitch command in for podcast. That would be brilliant of you. And if you, for example, with Spotify, you can follow us and make sure you're up to date with every time they come out. They're going to be coming out every Friday and Sunday for those podcast episodes. Other than that, thank you for everyone that's joined me for playing this week, and we will be back next week, Wednesday, 7:30 BST, which is 2:30 EST,
Eastern Standard, 1:30 Central Standard.
12:30 Western. Is that West Coast?
We've never been able to figure that. I think that's Mountain, and we think Pacific's another one, but we haven't checked because nobody.
You don't know
here
the
is
time zones in your own country?
We
All I
have.
know is Las
we have,
Vegas
like,
is 3 hours behind me.
Yeah, we have like 4 or 5 time zones in our single
It's
nation.
unnecessary.
And
Should
a
be
couple
like China.
states-
Just have the
Yeah,
one.
that's just greedy.
And a couple states don't have daylight savings time.
Yeah. Oh, also, I'm completely forgetting about Alaska and Pacific. So those are in 2 separate time zones as well, that aren't in the things. Yeah. Screw.
But yeah, thank you very much for CST, Mountain, and Pacific are all things, apparently. So thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next time. And also, just a quick shout out. Thank you to Rommel, who today alone has gifted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 subs on my channel.
Wow.
Big shout out to you, you crazy Dutch bastard. You crazy Dutch bastard. I have 13 subscribers on my channel. Only 2 of those don't come from Rommel now. Well, anyway, thank you so much. Oh yeah, fuck Hawaii. What does that even mean? But anyway, we'll be back next time. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
See you later, folks, on my stream as well.
Bye.
Thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Lothian, for the resub, especially once again, dude. You're awesome.